Oh, you know what I love?
Sports.
Love sports.
Sports. When
It comes to Texas A&M.
Where are you getting this information?
Let me tell you.
Welcome to TexAgs.
It's here. It's time. There's always a buzz in the air when you hit this moment.
He is a guy that has gotten better and better and better. He's just got that dog in him.
We will develop men. We will graduate players, and we will win championships on the field.
I think of him as this hawk. Before long, he's going to be swooping in on those quarterbacks.
And they embody what the school is about. It's about getting into hard situations and getting ourselves out. It's about working hard. It's about doing amazing things.
And this is a real program. It's not fake. This is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football, this is a really good place to be.
You know, if I'm betting on anybody, it's the Aggies.
So look, I don't think A&M has any place to say that, you know, they could be satisfied, right? Like, as Coach Oko said at the SEC Media Days, look at their trophy case. Mm-hmm. But I do appreciate a little bit of the mindset there. I had DJ Hicks in studio yesterday, and we'll run that interview a little bit later. And he said, his quote to me, like, where this team is, he goes, we're getting close to where we need to be, but always things need to be fixed. Okay? It was a longer answer, and you'll hear it on the interview. But basically, they are where they need to be, but they cannot be satisfied where they are right now, because there's always going to be areas they can be better. And I think that speaks to the way they go about their business. Now, I recognize they haven't done anything yet to be satisfied with, right? Like, there's nothing to be. You can look back at last season and say that was a really good year, but that's nothing to be like, okay, like, you've got to top that. You got to be Johnny Topper.
It's like David Nuno in the gym, you know. Yeah, you know, you probably
that's what Bronny. Bronny likes to go. I don't know how much he benched the other day. I helped him. Well, I watched him.
So he's got 300 pounds on, and hey, that's really good. No, but I got to go for 320.
That's exactly what Bronny did. I don't know if it was the weight was probably more, but yeah, that's exactly what he did.
Lifted or weighed?
I think he had 3 plates on each side.
Okay, lifted. Yeah. I didn't know if he'd got himself up to 320.
No.
But, you know, the point I'm making
so that's 400 pounds, right?
You're always trying to – what is it? I had a coach one time says, you're never staying the same. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. Get better, Aggies.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. The older you get, it's harder to get better. You put more work in, you don't get better.
Who you telling?
But I appreciate the mindset from Hicks. I appreciate the mindset from the team because, I mean, I was listening to Ask Liucci this morning.
Yeah.
I don't bring it up with Liucci, but like when he lays it out for A&M to make the playoffs, right? Not only do you at minimum have to split the Alabama-LSU road games.
Okay.
You also have to split, I mean, there's many different ways to slice up a season. I'm just giving the scenario. Not only do you have to split those games, you also got to split your last 2, right, to make the playoffs. And that's if you win everything else.
Yeah. Of course, last year you had to go into the season with 5 like top 15 teams on your schedule. And then everybody said, oh, it was an easy schedule. So, look, you just got to be a 10-2 team.
It's pretty hard.
Yeah, but of course it's hard. Like Mike Elko said it himself about the playoffs. It's supposed to be hard to get into the playoffs.
It is supposed to be hard. But the irony in this, or I don't even think irony is the right word. Other teams have to do the same thing.
Yes.
And they all have a stretch in their schedule that, like, especially in the SEC, you're like, how is Texas, who apparently is the greatest team in the history, gonna go 10 or 2 and better? They might. Somebody's got to do it. A couple teams. Georgia might do it, but.
And you know what? Some of those teams, when they dissect the schedule, and I like that word, by the way, dissect. When they dissect the schedule, and they're looking at, look at this tough stretch that, say, Alabama has, they're going to say A&M's in there, right? So
they're thinking
A&M's got a tough schedule.
Go to Kyle Field
because they got to play a tough game. Yeah, and that opponent has to play a tough game too.
Like, what do you think Tennessee is thinking? Like,
man, we got to go to Kyle Field.
Got to go freaking Kyle Field? What do you think Kentucky's thinking?
They're thinking,
we get to go to Kyle Field. That'll be fun.
We're going to Kyle Field. It's going to be tough, and they know it. But that's life in the SEC. The next week, you're going to go somewhere or the next time you go somewhere, it's going to be tough. It might be a 4-8 Florida team and you still lose. It might be the worst team, or a terrible Mississippi State team, and you still have to get a miraculous finish to win. It might be a terrible Kentucky team, and you need your current defensive coach to make terrible decisions on play calling.
Well,
to escape.
Everybody's got to go. And look, and I'm not doing this to look at the schedule and be like, oh, that's going to be such a. Just in general, we've gone through this before, but how many close games has A&M played in the last few years, or any team in the SEC?
Bunch of them.
You would say, what, 60% of games in the SEC are
probably, or what?
70 are decided by a score or less?
Oh, yeah. Well,
for A&M at least?
Oh, well, no. Like, you remember that, well, that wouldn't be a very good, comparison. I was going to say, remember that offensive juggernaut at LSU in 2019, but they blew out everybody except Alabama.
Yeah.
And that was a one-score game, and they played Texas, and it was a one-score game. But that's an example of what we were talking about previously, about you always want to be getting better, because that was a team that consistently got better. Like A&M in 2012 consistently got better, and by the end of the year, probably the best team in the country, arguably.
Arguably, yeah.
And you become a juggernaut. But you're going to have to win close games. You're in the SEC. I've always said it before. Being in the SEC is like swimming with sharks.
Yep.
If you want to wade through the kiddie pool, you should have stayed in the Big 12, baby. It's a Big 12, baby.
So I'm going to now pivot to a non-A&M topic. We can localize it, but CBS Sports ranked the top players, overall players in college football. Then they did an overrated or underrated section.
Okay.
A&M is not on this list, okay?
All right.
But I'm just going to read you a little line from the story, and then we'll go through some of these people. We polled 2 college football general managers, 2 NFL scouts, and 6 college football personnel executives on the top 10 players, asking if they thought they were underrated, properly rated, or overrated in the context of the top 10.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to just read you a couple of the names. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Drew Mestermaker from Oklahoma State. He was on the overrated. I didn't even know. I mean, I know he's very good and had a fantastic year last year. I didn't know he would have made the top 10, but Drew Mestermaker made the top 10.
I saw him on TV, and they lost to South Florida, and they blew like a 21-point lead. I think it looked pretty good, but it's hard for me to gauge that, just like as Byron Brown, because you're consistently playing against inferior competition.
Also,
now here's my question to that, though. When they say overrated, is that overrated in terms of being an NFL prospect?
Overrated in the top 10 of college football.
Because I've seen great college players.
Sure.
Great, like Tommy Frazier.
Great college player.
Great.
Not an NFL player.
Not an NFL. Tebow.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So, no, this is in respect to the top 10 in college football.
Okay.
Now, I don't think NFL scouts.
Well, is somebody saying Mestermaker is one of the top 10 players? Really?
Yeah.
Who's saying that? Who's saying that he's one of the top 10 players in college football?
Go read that article. Just the fact. I'm just reading what it says in the article, but there might be more to it. Another one. Arch Manning. Overrated in the top 10.
Okay. He's overhyped for sure. I think he's really good.
I'm going to read you a name in a moment that is going to surprise you.
Okay.
But this one might surprise you.
Overrated.
Dante Moore.
I don't disagree with that. He has some really good games, but if you actually go back and look at last year, there's a lot of pedestrian games in there.
Here's the one that shocked the living out of me.
Okay.
Trinidad Chambliss.
He is not overrated.
Now, he may not have the season he had last year, or as Dalton likes to say, last year, but I don't think there's any world that coming into this season he is overrated.
I don't see how anybody can come to that. Now, again, if they're looking at it and they're saying, hey, we're supposed to be judging them by, so obviously we're only talking about quarterbacks here, but judging it by how good you are as a college player. But in the back of their mind, because they're NFL scouts, they're still got this bias about, well, but what are they like as a NFL prospect?
Right.
as an NFL prospect, I could say, all right, if you tell me he's overrated as a top 10 NFL prospect, I'll say, okay, I don't know. But I've seen the dude play.
Yeah.
He left the game. Or at least the game when there was enough time to matter. He left the game against Miami with the lead. His team was in the lead. He did his job offensively.
He did his job
against a strong offense.
So CBS Sports, Blake Brockmeyer was the person.
Oh, is it Blake Brockmeyer again?
He did the top 150 players.
Is that the guy that played at Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and Drew Messamaker made the top 10. Arch Manning was number 9.
So they were top 10. So this is, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So that's interesting. Here's one that surprised me. Malachi Toney.
Overrated?
On the overrated department.
They're obviously...
They don't watch ball.
They're obviously, whether they're supposed to or not, got the whole NFL... I don't want mean to...
Disparage?
I've already went... I should... One of my favorite people in the world is Steve McGee.
Yeah.
And we would have arguments. And he used to say, Danny Etling at LSU was a heck of a quarterback because he saw him as having some NFL potential. And he got a cup of coffee. I don't know if he ever how much he played. But my eyes would tell me, unless he was playing A&M, my eyes would tell me he sucks.
Kind of like Garrett Nussmeier. I don't know if he's going to suck, but everybody tells me how great he is. And I'm like,
Garrett Nussmeier was the opposite of Danny Etling because he would look good in a lot of games, but would get owned by A&M.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. By the way, Malachi Toney as a freshman, if he's overrated, had 1,200 yards receiving, touchdowns.
What do you...
come on, guys.
What do you want? Hey, that's it. I don't know who to put my... resume too, but I want a job as an NFL scout.
Well, others, and it wasn't just NFL scouts. This is apparently GMs. I can make a list and say I talked to a bunch of scouts.
Again, I think they're biased in the back of their head. They may not say they mean to, but they're talking about it as an NFL player.
Others receiving votes for the overrated. Jordan Seaton and Kawan Lacey.
Okay, Seaton. He was playing in the Big 12. I don't know. We'll find out. Everybody wanted him, but who knows? Lacey, okay. I'd take him on my team.
You want to know who was considered underrated?
Yeah. Let's hear
the fourth player on the list, Leonard Moore. Underrated.
Man.
That's pretty good.
Okay, first of all, he's the best cornerback in America. And I don't know how anybody let him get out of Round Rock, Texas, and go all the way up to Notre Dame.
Colin Simmons, underrated, according to them.
Okay,
is he 3 on the list?
He's really good.
6.
Oh, number 6 on the list? Okay.
He's really good. I don't know how he's underrated. Everybody's talking about how great he is, but okay, he's really good.
So, there you go.
Okay. Really, how's Colin Simmons underrated?
I guess they think he shouldn't be 6th. He should be 3rd, 4th.
Okay, that's okay. If that's the way he's underrated, okay. I mean, he's good. Everybody acknowledged that guy is really good.
In fact, we've acknowledged everybody that A&M went against the last 3 games that they played. Really good. Dylan Stewart, really good. Yeah. Colin Simmons,
who's
really
better,
good.
Dylan Stewart or Colin Simmons? Now, there's a question.
I would lean Colin Simmons.
Really, I think I would lean Dylan Stewart. And that's not a shot at Colin Simmons. He's just a freaking warhorse out there.
Yeah, I think I'd lean Colin Simmons.
Okay.
And partially because
I won't say you're wrong.
He's got scoreboard over A&M. Dylan Stewart, that's a one-to-one. I'm biased.
Okay, but, I mean.
I know that the result of the game doesn't determine all that, but it'd be interesting to see what Colin Simmons would do at South Carolina and what Dylan Stewart would do at Texas. That'd be an interesting swap.
Yeah. I think they're both going to be real high draft picks.
Like top 10 picks. Yeah. This is TexAgs Live. We are presented by
David Gardner's Jewelers.
We are currently...
They're not overrated.
Oh.
They're underrated.
They're underrated. As is the studio that we call the what?
The Rollo Insurance Studio.
Jason, Jackson, Keith Morgan.
Keith, Morgan. It's not a guy named Keith Morgan.
I think that would be a good name, though.
Morgan.
If I were to make a fake character up, he'd be Keith Morgan.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Keith Morgan.
I'd go with Rockadelier.
Rockadelier. We need a new nickname for you this year. Something to do with Anto. Anto Buchanan? Why did I make him Spanish?
I know we need to start. Now we're going on to the Go Hour, which is brought to you by
Warehouse SEC Creations.
And if you want to be part of the show or in the holistic planning cool zone, because making money is cool. And if you want to be part of the show, you call us on the Buppy's Catering and Bartending hotline at
979-693-1150.
Which you can also do that number if you want to text it. It miraculously
somehow it just transforms
into the Catalyst Pure Performance Energy PPE text line.
By the way, they have some. Let me just say something about Catalyst, if you don't mind. Just visit drinkcatalyst.com and buy any 12-pack and get the second 12-pack for free if you use the code TexAgs, not CheckAgs, TexAgs at checkout. So, bam, you want 12, you get 24. That's how it works.
Now, what were we talking about before?
I don't remember. There was so much. Hold on. Where were we? Gaither, help us.
Anto Buchanan. That's where we were.
Anto Buchanan. Now I made him Italian now.
What a social media explosion there was about people looking at him and saying, this guy looks like he's got 4 kids. And
I don't think he looks 40. He just doesn't look like a 20-year-old. He's not a 20-year-old college kid. Like,
he looks like a Doberman Pinscher.
You've seen my sons. They're normal-looking 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
Can you imagine them like going to class next to Anto next week?
I think you could get physically injured sitting next to Anto Saka. It's just his aura is so physical.
Yeah.
Now, does that guy look the part? I mean, really, let's hope, I hope he plays as physical and as intimidating as he looks. Intimidating I think that's the right word. It's just, but it was hilarious to me. I had showed Irma, I said, you got to read these, going through the threads, and some of the people that get real creative, and some of them were uncalled for, but it was all in fun, and it was in admiration, and it was, you saw him, right?
Yeah,
it was hilarious.
Yeah. So are we going to go with Anto Buchanan?
No, that's too easy.
Olin Saka.
Now that's a little bit better, but you'd have to say it, Saka.
Olin Saka.
Of course, I'm going to purposely mispronounce it this year when he starts racking them up. I'm going to call him Anto Saka.
Saka. God, we're sold. Let's go around the room. We go left to right. We got dad jokes and grandpa jokes all day. Nick Savage.
Anto Saka.
What's up, bruh?
Howdy, y'all. I don't have any dad jokes yet, but I guess I should. Is that going to just come naturally in about a few months?
Yeah. I didn't realize that I'm a dad joke guy until people in this building, and then I asked the kids about it. They're like, oh, yeah, dad jokes. All you do is dad jokes. Like, what happened? I
went from make jokes, and then it seems like they're dad jokes just because you're a dad.
Yeah, but I think, the humor changes. Maybe from watching Paw Patrol so long.
I don't know what it is.
What I hope happens, OB, is
I think it's just high-quality comedy that I deliver.
Yeah, good point.
And now they say, you say it's a dad joke. Now they say it's a granddad joke. What were you saying, Nick?
What I hope happens, OB, whenever I leave for paternity leave and I come back, I hope I get your wit. I hope I come back as witty as you. Maybe that's what I'll get.
You're going to come back
becoming
tired.
a dad.
You're going to come back with no sleep, buddy.
I don't know about you. I got to tell you, and I get it, Nick. Look, bond with your child. My wife took maternity leave because she actually did the heavy lifting. I went to work.
Mm-hmm. I think I took a few days off. I didn't get much time, but I took a few days. We had twins. We had to play man on man.
No, I'm not saying it's wrong, because especially in this day of equality, if if the woman can take maternity leave, why can't the dad, right?
Heck yeah.
And the answer is because the dad just sat there and said, come on, honey, it's going to be okay. All I did was try to keep from throwing up. I had the easy bit. The woman has, she has to do the work, but I
think I had some work involved. Okay.
9 months previously, but I'm talking about when the actual delivery and you got to.
No, I didn't have any pain. But It's a team effort.
You know what I was planning?
The kicker is just as important as the center.
I thought my son was born on January 6th. I thought on January 7th I would be flying up to Kansas to cover a basketball game, and I had every intention. And my sports editor, his name was John Bridges at the time, said, "No, Olin, yeah, I think you should just skip this game. We'll take care of it."
We got it.
We got it.
Kayla Gaither wouldn't skip it. She'd be working it. She's at the Angry Elephant News.
What are you going to take maternity leave, or are you going to go to work?
Well, I'm going to take maternity leave because I'm the woman, but...
You're so tough, I could figure you could cover the game while
She's
giving
going to be
birth.
at a press conference.
We'll
Never mind. I'm not going to go there.
All right, get that baby out of here. Now, who scored on that play?
I'm not really sure how to transition into what I'm going to say, but it's been 20 minutes and we haven't mentioned Von Miller's name already.
Von Miller.
Olin, I'm sure you're really excited about this news. Von Miller
Shereen Williams called it.
There you go. Shireen called it. He signed with the Dallas Cowboys on a 1-year deal. So, Olin, what are your thoughts on Von Miller coming back to Texas for his 15th season in the NFL?
First of all, I wish he would have been there 15 years ago.
Yep.
Right? But I think a 15-year vet, Von Miller, is still the best pass rusher the Cowboys are going to have. So I welcome it, and I'm excited about it. Plus, I like Von. Callie Garner, and I took our picture with him in the Indianapolis airport back in February.
That's right. I remember that.
Good guy, good pass rusher still. And you know what? He's got the know-how to kind of teach some of the younger guys as well.
Well, I don't think 1775 is known for their poultry. They're known for all the meats that they make. But he graduated with a poultry science degree from A&M. Right? He's big into that community. So, but if we were to say, hey, we want you to sample some other types of proteins, where are you taking Von?
Oh, Von.
Bro. He may have already been there.
Super Bowl MVP. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, so he deserves the best. And the best would be 1775 for the succulent brisket or the amazing pork ribs or those tantalizing jalapeno cheese sausage. And you know what? He's a poultry guy. I haven't seen any chicken out there. I'm sure they have it, but you know what they do have? They got turkey.
They got turkey.
And it's really good.
You can come out. You can be with us, turkey. Turkey
really,
can hang out
here. It's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know, Von. He might want to smash that jalapeno cheese. No, not that. I've been there. The pulled pork.
Yeah, he may want to smash it.
Yeah, just eat it up. Eat it up.
Smash the like button.
And you know what? I bet you, I don't know, but I bet you Von Miller would enjoy the queso mac and cheese.
Oh, I bet he would.
I bet he would. He deserves it.
He'd drink it afterwards.
Heck yeah, he deserves it. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a Super Bowl MVP. He's an Aggie.
Do that again?
He's an Aggie.
979-492-6241. The website 1775txbbq.com. It is 1775.
It's good.
Hey everyone, David Nuno here of TexAgs Live. I want to introduce you to the team at Holistic Planning. Got Jason Barber here, Taylor Pankratz, and also Paul Meredith. Jason, I want to start off with you. What really sets Holistic Planning apart from the others?
Yeah, so what makes us different is most financial advisors stop at investment management. On the other hand, Holistic Planning, we manage investments, taxes, and estate planning all on one team, all underneath one roof.
Now, Taylor, when everything is coordinated like that, it really helps the bottom line, doesn't it?
It really does. When your investments and taxes are working together, you stop leaving money on the table and keep more of what's yours.
Paul, Holistic Planning is trying to expand as well.
That's true. We just opened our Houston office, and we're looking for people who feel like their advisor isn't seeing the full picture, because that's exactly what we fix.
And Jason, there's other opportunities beyond that.
Definitely. If you're a financial advisor and you want to join the Holistic Planning team, we're looking to add 50 teams in the next 5 to 10 years. So check out holisticplanning.com/advisors.
All right, so if you want a team that actually coordinates everything, go to holisticplanning.com. Aggies, this one is worth it. We're back. It is TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio. It is the Go Hour presented by the Warehouse at CC Creations, and it is time for 25 and 25, presented by Paragon Financial Advisors, an Aggie-owned independent fee-only fiduciary firm serving families and business owners nationwide. Visit paragon-adv.com to get more information. All right. So, number 10. We're on the top 10 now. Okay.
Top 10. All right.
Number 10. He goes by 3 letters.
Yeah.
A-B-R.
Yeah.
Ashton Bethel Roman.
One of my favorite players, one of the guys I'm highest on for this year. Look, last year, 24 catches, about 500 yards, and I think it's about 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Yep.
I don't have the stats in front of me, but I can tell you this. Almost all that was in the 7th game and afterwards. He came on late, and then you saw stuff like the one-handed catch reaching back against LSU where he got it down to the 4-yard line. Remember that play? The diving catch for a touchdown against South Carolina, turned a short pass against South Carolina to like a 65, 70-yard gain. He is an exciting player that I think is, like I say, he was just starting to emerge last year in the second half. And what if you see that kind of player over the full course of this year? Then I'm looking at a guy, I'm thinking catches between 40 to 50 passes for about 750 yards.
If your third receiver has 700 yards receiving, holy smokes.
Well, here's another thing I like about Ashton. Not so much about him, but about the matchup that he creates, because theoretically, especially when teams are in man coverage, okay, again, I'm saying theoretically because it's not always going to be this way, but theoretically, Mario Craver's going to draw the best cover guy on the other team. Yep. And I'm assuming that Isaiah Horton is going to draw the second best cover guy. And that leaves Ashton Bethel Roman on the third best guy. And I'm going to take that matchup every time.
And oh, by the way, Jerry Bussey.
Yeah. I mean, that goes back to how good we think this receiving core is going to be. But Ashton Bethel Roman, he was even an afterthought in the first half of last year.
Right.
But he scored that first touchdown against Arkansas where he just toasted that cornerback. And that was like, okay, flip the switch. And he was really good the rest of the year. If you're watching it on TV, you're seeing it in radio, I'm sorry, but we're just showing that catch he made with his right hand reaching back against, he's crossed the field against LSU. Unfortunately, that did not turn into a touchdown. He got down to the 4, and then there was an interception later. But he's a very exciting player, and I think we're just seeing the tip of the proverbial iceberg with him.
When we talk about ABR and like what he
deserves a PBR for some of those plays he made last
bull
year.
riding award, PBR,
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Oh, okay.
Beer.
What I was going to say
old guys are going, hell yeah.
We've seen him do it. This is not like, like with Aaron Gregory, it's like, I think he's going to, I keep saying, I've seen Ashton do it. And I saw how he emerged at the end of last season. So this is not hypothetical anymore. This is a guy that has done it in the SEC at a high level with his same quarterback. If he takes a step forward, and I think he will, he's stronger. I think, what did he put on? Was it 13 pounds? Double check that. I feel like he put on 13 pounds. I might be making that up. I'm pretty sure it's about 13 pounds. He says he's just as fast. He's more explosive. If he even takes a step from what he finished with last year, I mean, he is a deadly receiver.
Yeah, he's. I'm so excited about what he may be, what I think he's going to be this year. I really do, because like you said, I saw it, and there's no reason not to think that that he's not going to continue to improve and just get better. And even if he doesn't improve, if he's just what he was last year in the second half of last year over the course of a season,
better. We're better.
If he's what he is, I think he had like 19 or 20 catches in the second half of the season. If he does that, and you just put it over a 12, 13 game schedule, he's looking at 40, 45 catches for 600 to 700 yards as your number 3 guy. Ashton Bethel Roman might be considered your number 3 receiver. He'd be a number 1 receiver at a lot of places.
Yeah. Yeah, he would. You have the weight on?
Still looking for
Still
it.
looking. I think it was like 13 pounds. We'll get that here in a minute. More on ABR when we talk to Billy in the 10 o'clock hour. We'll hit a break. Greg McElroy speaking nicely about A&M.
I like Greg McElroy. I don't always agree with what he has to say, but he usually backs up what he says with at least some basis for his opinion.
We need to get him on the show. We didn't get him at SEC Media Days. I'll reach out. Right now we're talking about Heritage Films. If you got a father, you got a mother, you should probably be listening up because I was with my dad on Saturday and my mom.
Good son.
Yeah, I try to visit him as much as possible, especially before football season because we get a little busy. He's 96. He's doing okay. He's all right. He's grinding. She's grinding too. But we did a Heritage Film for him a couple years back, and we told the whole family story. And I knew the family story, but watching it on the big film, on the big screen, and watching it with my kids, and also like, oh, I didn't know that detail, or oh, like, and his recollection of it at the time was so clear. It was so great, right? And I'm so happy that Chance recommended that we do this, and we did it, and it's been awesome. But I highly recommend it for everybody listening because you're not promised tomorrow, and you certainly do not want to lose an opportunity to have your family story told in a 2-hour documentary style. Chance and his team do a great job. So it doesn't have to be your dad. It can be your family business. It can be your family ranch. But Chance can be an eye in the sky at very important family events, and he is the best at doing these. The website is yourheritagefilm.com, yourheritagefilm.com, 713-893-8341, 713-893-8341 is Heritage Films. Hey everyone, David Nuno of TexAgs Live, and I'm here with Brandon Moreau of Brazos Valley Floor and Design. They're a family-owned business, and Brandon used to work for the A&M football team, the Texans, you name it. Brandon, tell us a little bit about Brazos Valley Floor and Design.
Yeah, like I said, it's a family business. We started in 1999. It was in a small feed store, and about 4 years later, my dad decided he wanted to grow the business and kind of focus on that. So we're in the location we are at now, and we have a large showroom with salespeople with designer experience, a lot of stocking power, and we cater a lot to residential builders, and we do a little commercial work as well.
Tell me about your other company as well, Premier Countertop Design.
Yeah, Premier Countertop Design is right there on site, so it's kind of a one-stop shop. People can come by, they can look at their slabs that they're going to cut, they're going to compare to their cabinet colors, their backsplash that they're going to do at our flooring store, and we have a lot of digital. We're doing a lot of digital stuff. We're templating, water jet, laser measuring, all different things like that.
So tell me a little bit about what sets you guys apart from the rest of the competition.
I think just being here in the community for 27 years in business, and our vendors that we have the relationships with, the pricing we can get because of how much we can buy in stock and things like that. And then as far as the countertop business, it's just the way we can be precise with what we do.
All right, there you have it, guys. Check out the website, bvfloorandddesign.com and premiercountertopdesign.com. We're back. You big Alan Jackson fan.
I am a huge Alan Jackson fan. You know who else I'm a fan of? Let me get these three out. First of all, hey, Carson, young boy, he's probably like 9 or 10, maybe younger, came up to me and Irma, we're at dinner the other night, and he just said, "Hey, OB, I like to go hour."
Oh, yeah.
So, Carson, thank you.
Carson?
And then, of course, Mr. Yearly.
He's coming by tomorrow to hang out with us do the show.
Yeah, got the shirt. I meant you wore yours on Friday. I meant to wear mine, but I forgot. My wife was, shamed me and said, "The guy makes a shirt for you and you don't even wear it." So, yeah, I want to make sure I got it on. I like it.
Looks good.
And then, what was the last thing? I don't typically do this, but if you have the opportunity, I'd love for you to go to TexAgs and click on my story.
Oh, yeah.
A gentleman named Arnold Hayes worked with the Cotton Bowl forever, Aggie, class of 52. Story on him, I'd appreciate if you take a look at it because I found the man to be a complete delight to be around. He's on his 5th Aggie ring. He's not, like I say, he's 95 years old. 5th Aggie ring. Great stories about how he got to 5.
Yeah.
So if you would take the time to look at that story, I think you might actually be glad you did.
Yeah, I think you will. OB, Greg McElroy has his top 25. He has A&M at number 9. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to read you part of why he has him at number 9. You look at the schedule, it's one of the hardest in America, but you have an elite quarterback, potentially, if he lives up to his potential. You have an elite coach. By the way, I just want to stop there before I keep going. Is he the first guy to actually acknowledge, he's not the first guy, but like recently to acknowledge that Marcel has elite quarterback ability?
Potential. He said he's potentially an elite quarterback. I don't know. Some guy at TexAgs been saying it for a couple of years.
Well, if he lives up, you have an elite coach. I think others have said that.
I think everybody's on board with that.
You have a play caller that has been brought up from within, so you have some continuity there. You also have a supporting cast that along...
Go ahead.
No, please.
Did you see what Brooks Austin said about
I haven't watched the video yet, but it's about the offense being more tailored to Marcel.
Right. So he was watching it. Why don't they move this guy around? Why did you just keep him in the pocket? Brooks knows more about it than I do.
Well, maybe you called it a year ago. So
anyway, move on.
Yep. Let's see. You have a blah, 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 and you also have a supporting cast that along both lines of scrimmage is going to be a little bit of a change. So I'm betting on A&M's progress because I'm betting on Marcel Reed taking a step. Okay. There's more, but again, this is the second time he has brought up Marcel in a forward-thinking, positive manner, as opposed to always thinking about the last 2 games.
Yeah, see, when I see a guy from, just whatever podcast, just whatever, and he's like, he's like me. I played some high school football. He's like Al Bundy, right? Yeah. I was a high school football star, or I watched football on TV a lot. And he says, Marcel's not very good. But when I see a guy that quarterbacked the national championship team, or I see a guy like Brooks Austin, who's obviously was a coach at some point, I don't know his story, but, and a few others that say, this kid's really good, that I give more credence, like everybody should, to that guy. I mean, if I say Marcel, I think Marcel Reed is a Heisman contender potentially, and you're like, yeah, right. Look, you're at TexAgs. You're supposed to say that, which we're not. But and what do you know? You're a tight end at White Oak High School in 1979. For God's sakes, what do you know? But when
Greg
McElroy says it, then you go, oh,
okay.
Well, then I believe it.
Yeah. He also says, I'm betting on, not only on Marcel taking a step, but I'm also betting on Mike Elko not skipping a beat with how this team performs along the offensive and defensive lines as they move throughout the season.
Okay. Just got to see it with my own eyes. I'm very bullish on the defensive line. I want to be on the offensive line. Just got to see it.
You got to see it. He's got Texas at number, guess.
2.
7.
Interesting. I think he almost went to Texas, I think.
Yeah, he did almost go to Texas. I think Arch Manning is going to be excellent this year, says McElroy, not Nuno, but I think he's going to be pretty darn good. I also think that last preseason, the entire industry got way ahead of the offensive line. I'm not going to make that same mistake in consecutive August. The ceiling is as high as anybody, but I want to see the offensive line show continuity, and I want to see an improvement from a run game standpoint. If they can prove those things, I think Texas will quickly re-enter the top 5, potentially top 3 at some point in the month of September.
So,
That's
since we're talking Texas O-line, what do you think about the story with Cole Hudson?
Tell me more. What
he was in?
Oh, the one who went to the NFL camp that came back. Yeah,
and came back, and now he's
I just think that's going to happen.
Yeah,
yeah. I think that's just going to happen. It's the world we're in. If A&M did it, I'd probably be like, okay, But that's until there's real checks and balances, and it makes them better.
It does.
Yeah, he absolutely makes them better.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that is the most.
Does he have Ohio State number 1?
Let me go to it. I have it right here. He's got
or Notre Dame.
He's got Ohio State number 1.
Yeah, that's who I'd put.
He's got Notre Dame number 2.
Okay.
Indiana 3.
Okay.
Oregon 4.
All right.
Miami 5. Okay. Is that not one SEC? Hold on. Not one SEC team yet.
Georgia must be coming around 6.
Georgia at 6.
Texas 7.
Texas 7.
Number 8 is going to be Texas Tech.
Alabama.
Of course it is.
Yeah. Number 9, as you know, Texas A&M. Number 10 on the list, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. That's where the wind comes.
Yeah.
Sweeping down the plain.
Give me Vegas win totals for SEC teams, because I'm just curious how that ranking and what the AP later on today is going to look like compared to what Vegas is saying about win totals. Oh, there we go.
Well,
look at Nick Savage.
First of all, if you believe A&M is the number 9 team, then they...
You can't see it, but it says 8.5 is the number.
Yeah. You think Alabama's better, you think Texas is better, and you think Oklahoma's better, and 2 of those games on the road, but A&M's the number 9 team. Because if they have 3 losses, they're not going to be the number 9 team.
Well, Oklahoma, they got them at 7.5 wins.
Oh, but and you got them. He has them at 10, right?
Right.
My bad.
But
my bad.
I'm sorry to say that if you win 8 games, you're probably not a top 10 team.
I agree.
And if you win 9 games, you're probably
not
a top 10 team.
9 games is a top 10 team?
No, you're probably not.
No. I'm sure.
Are you a guaranteed top 10 team at 10 wins?
Probably. I'm sure.
I don't know.
Especially.
I mean, Vandy wasn't.
It's true. Did they?
They went 10-2 and didn't make the playoffs.
Wow. Should have beat Texas.
Yeah.
Got behind. They got behind on the first play of that game.
That's right. That's exactly right. So I thought everything Greg said was fair about Texas.
A&M at 10-2 is a top 10 team because of the teams they'll have to beat 10-2.
Yeah, they might be a top 8 team, depending on when you lose, right? As A&M learned, when you lose matters. And you want to be at your best at the end. But the only way that matters at the end is if you play your best in the beginning too, and in the middle. That's the only way November really matters.
I heard a guy on the radio, local radio, the other day complaining about that there shouldn't be polls, preseason polls. I'm like, why do we go through this every year? All it is for talking points to generate conversation.
I got it.
And that's what the fact that this guy was talking about it proves the value of them.
I got it. No problem. No polls, no sports radio in the offseason. Deal.
Yeah, it's just so.
It's easy. It's done.
I'm like,
I'll go work, with you, with Mr. Charles at HEB, and we don't have to do a show.
Mr. Charles.
I saw him yesterday.
I bet he played some football at Brenham High School.
He can probably still play.
Yeah, he's in good shape.
Yeah. He was looking for the TexAgs picture of the TexAgs shirt. He went fishing, and he said he showed it to you the other day.
Yeah, he sure did, yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Charles. All right, we'll hit a break. When we come back, I'm sure Kayla Gaither's got something really good to talk about.
Yes, I do.
Do you?
I'm always prepared.
Oh, that was a humble brag there, wasn't it? That was a humble. That was a shot at every intern ever.
I think she's just stating fact.
She is stating fact, but she's like, yeah, I'm always prepared. I know there's others that are like, I can't get my browser to work.
That's
kidding, Carson.
Her what?
My browser.
Oh, browser. I thought you said brassiere. That's what I thought you said. I still think that she always is going to get the job done no matter what the situation.
Just go to break. I would have talked about Rollo Insurance a moment ago, but I got sidetracked.
What
Anyway,
about Rollo Insurance?
they're the best insurance. 888-44-ROLLO. Call RolloInsurance.com/TexAgs to get your information. 60 offices in the state of Texas. They'll take care of your farmer's insurance, your ranch insurance, your car insurance, your homeowner's insurance. If you need help changing a tire, Jason will come. Morgan will come. That's what they do. Okay, maybe just me because they know me really well. But I think you too, OB, and anybody who reaches out. They're awesome. They're the absolute best.
Why couldn't you have told us that before?
I was laughing.
Oh.
Because, Brazier talk got me in my thoughts. Anyway, let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center and talk about anything else.
So,
Kayla Gaither.
transitioning over from the laughing.
A lot of transitioning on this show.
So I looked at Athlon Sports this morning. They have 5 bold predictions for the Aggies for this season, and I just want to go through the list.
5 bold?
5 bold predictions.
Oh, bold.
Bold predictions.
Not like Texas Bowl.
Predictions. So number 1, A&M will make the playoffs.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a very bold prediction, but
Now, who's saying this again?
Athlon Sports.
Okay, Athlon.
Steve Athlon.
So number 2 is A&M will not make the SEC title game despite making the playoffs.
All right, well, we got through that.
Okay. Number 3, Marcel Reed will clean up the turnovers.
Okay.
Number 4, Mario Craver will lead the team in receiving yards.
I don't think that's bold. But
Okay.
It may be a bold prediction, maybe not. But Anto Saka will be the next great Texas A&M sack artist is bold prediction number 5
Okay.
for Athlon Sports.
We'll take these in parts. We'll go reverse order.
Okay,
I wouldn't be surprised if Anto Saka is exactly that. I mean,
I saw a video of him. He didn't get a sack on this play, right? It's against Northwestern. I'm trying to. I want to say maybe Purdue. I can't remember the opponent. He's rushing from the edge, makes contact, and bull rushes the tackle straight back into the quarterback. Who like the tackle hits the quarterback trying to pass, and it fouls up the whole play. He doesn't get a sack on that,
but he caused.
He right. I guess he gets the pressure.
Yeah, he gets the pressure for that.
So, and now he's even stronger and faster
and better coaching. And better coaching.
I would think so.
Yeah, I would know so.
Okay.
What was the other one? The fourth one?
Number 4 was Mario Craver will lead the team in receiving yards. And you said,
yeah, I mean, he's the number 1 receiver. Yeah. Now, the only reason that doesn't happen is if they put everybody on him every game. Like,
but can you?
Huh?
But can you?
Well, somebody else will burn you if you do that.
That's right. That's right. And look, he's the type of guy that can catch a 10 to 15-yard pass and turn it into a 70-yard touchdown. We saw it up in South Bend.
Yeah. Against what team?
The Notre Dame frightened Irish.
Yeah. I don't remember. Did Leonard Moore have a good game that game? I don't know.
He had an interception.
He did. That's right.
He did. Right.
All right. 3 was?
Number 3 was Marcel Reed will clean up the turnovers.
Okay.
That has to happen.
Yeah. Well, it goes on to say in the description, if he throws 8 or fewer, the Aggies will be much better off. And I would 1,000% agree with that.
Think? if he threw 8 or fewer last year, I don't know if they're undefeated because I don't know if that's why they lost the Texas game.
Well, if you take 2 of those from the Texas and Miami game.
I don't know if that's why they lost Texas.
That's not
they
why
were playing
catch
up at that point.
Yeah. Right.
But Miami,
if you don't throw an interception on that play, I guess it could be an incompletion.
There's two.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about that last one.
Yeah, that last one. Actually, we always talk about that interception. The very well thrown pass on the play before probably should have tied the game.
Mm-hmm.
Look, there was a big collision. The guy dropped the ball because he got hit.
Yep.
But we've also seen plays in games where a guy takes that hit and is able to hold on. I don't fault him for dropping it or not being able to hang on because it was a big collision. But I've also seen those big collisions. Oh, what a catch.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
And what was 2?
Number 2, A&M will not make the SEC title game.
Some would say that's a blessing.
Yeah.
In fact, Kirby Smart's one of them that would say that's a blessing.
I've said this. I want them to make it, though.
I do, too.
I want that experience.
Because I love going to Atlanta so much.
Gosh. I mean, if they can move it, it'd be great.
Yeah, really, we'll move to Tampa.
That'd be fun.
Number 1, A&M will make the playoffs.
Okay. Great. That's all I need to hear. From Athlon's pages to God's eyes and ears.
I'd like to believe that.
Yeah.
I'd like to believe that. I don't know what I believe. That's just where I'm at with A&M. But guess what? I'm that way with Alabama. I'm that way with LSU. I think Texas is going to make the playoffs. But I am that way with pretty much everybody
the two
in
teams,
the SEC.
The two teams that I would bet the farm on to make the playoffs are Ohio State and Notre Dame. Notre Dame's got a cakewalk.
All right. OB, thank you, sir.
No, could be.
When we come back, Dan Wetzel of ESPN joining us. We'll chit-chat with Dan.
We used to be co-workers.
Used to be co-workers?
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell me something at the break?
Nah.
Okay. This is TexAgs Live. We'll be back. All right, we're back here on TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio, hour number 2 of the program. Let's go to the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. Dan Wetzel of ESPN joining us. Chit-chat all things college football. Dan, how you doing, man?
Great. How you guys doing?
Great. Thanks for joining us. I wanted to start off with, look, we're finally at a point that off-season talk is over. We're a few weeks away from the start of the season. What's the biggest story in college football do you think people are not talking about enough? Maybe a theme, a story, a team. What do you think is one thing that enough people are not paying attention to?
Ooh, what are we not talking about? Man, I mean, you got this many months of talking. Did you guys know Lane Kiffin went to LSU? I'm gonna give you a little. You got me on that one.
That's all right.
I don't know. I'm not sure what you guys have been talking about. I'm really interested in this, that the SEC could go 4 years without winning the national title. They haven't even played for one in the last 3. And obviously you have the Big Ten contenders, but you also have Notre Dame and Miami out there that I think are very, very legit. If either one won the national title, and I don't know if there's a SEC team that I like as much as, if I was going to pick them, I guess maybe Texas is on paper your best team. They got a heck of a schedule. Like, they could miss the playoff, things like that. Like, could we possibly go 4 years without an SEC team winning, which would just been unfathomable 4 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever. And that part's really kind of intriguing to me on how much the game has changed. And I think, historically you'd look back and be like, gee, what hit the brakes on this thing?
So what do you think it is? Like, if you were to pinpoint something, why do you think the SEC has fallen out of favor? Because SEC purists or people who love the SEC is, our league is much more difficult. And while I do believe that, it doesn't matter who wins the national championship is the best in college football.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily the league's the best. I mean, look, if Miami goes and wins the national championship, let's say they won it last year, right? They had the ball, could have beat Indiana. No one's going to be like, oh, the ACC was the best league. So it's not that the SEC isn't great. It isn't that there isn't still all these teams and traditions. The TV ratings are the highest. I think the fan passion, top to bottom, is the highest. Just so many different things. They had the most NFL draft picks, I'm pretty sure. Again, after missing it for a year. But it's just, I mean, clearly it's the ability to pay the players above the table and the transfer portal, and kids, and those go hand in hand. Not just like, did we outbid somebody for an elite talent, but that the days of sitting on the second and third string and even fourth string at Alabama and Georgia and just having not only incredible depth. I mean, you used to have like Alabama teams, like a guy would get one future first round pick would get hurt, and then they just roll in another guy, and he turned out to be a future first round pick, right? The days of getting 14, 15, 16 of the top 100 recruits to Georgia and Alabama, right? Like, just that ability. Now you're sitting there as a sophomore going, well, I'll go play somewhere else. I'll go to Indiana. I'll go to Iowa. I'll go to wherever that's going to pay me because there's too much money at stake, and I'll make more as a starter than I would as a backup. So that's just changed it. It's just a sea change in how the sport was. When it was the way it was before, people were willing to sit and wait their turn in the SEC, build depth, soak in all that stuff. Now it's like, hey man, this is a business deal. I got to go make money. I can always come back or I can go somewhere else. So that's been the thing. But I think just historically, when I like to go into seasons and think kind of historically what's going on, where are we at? And that to me just remains, again, it was unfathomable when it happened a few years ago when Michigan beat Alabama in the Rose Bowl of the semifinal, Nick Saban's last game. That was obviously it was a big game, right? It was the Rose Bowl, it was Michigan and Alabama, but there was a historic moment there that maybe we didn't recognize at the time. And how historic is that, or is this just a blip?
Talking to Dan Wetzel here on TexAgs Live. Dan, when you look at the teams being talked about as national championship contenders, is there a team that you trust more than others because of the roster they put together, the schedule they put together, whatever it may be?
I'm not going to say that they're going to win the national title, but I am higher, I think, on Oklahoma than a lot of other people. I talked to a lot of NFL scouts, and I always like, especially this time of year, where they're going, or over the summer, who do you think's got players? And there's a lot of talk about, it's not that they're going to have 4 first-round picks, but Oklahoma had a lot of guys that the NFL is interested in, and it's possible they could have double-digit draft picks in the 2027 draft. And when you normally get into that level, you have a chance to win the national title. And I think the way college football works now, everybody's good everywhere, and so that level of like depth of like really good, you don't necessarily have to be the best player, just total stars. But when you've got that many guys, a lot can happen. So I guess that would be kind of, I don't really know. I don't think we've got the AP rankings out. I mean, imagine they'll be sitting around 10 or so. I'm not really going that far out on a limb, but I'm intrigued by that on the Oklahoma team. I'm not going to sit there and tell you I know every player or this is why or I think they run this. But when I hear NFL scouts talk about, hey, man, there's like 15 guys in Oklahoma we're taking a look at, that piques my interest at a level that maybe is not quite getting discussed. And, obviously Mateer is a really good quarterback, and but, can he be an elite quarterback that you probably need to win it all? I don't know. But I am kind of higher on Oklahoma than others.
Conversely, Dan, is there a team maybe that's getting a lot of hype that you're just like, I'm just not sold on them yet?
Interesting. I mean, LSU, LSU and Ole Miss, I just don't know. I have a lot of is there going to be a drop-off at Ole Miss without Kiffin? How important was Kiffin and Charlie Weiss Jr.? A lot of their guys are back. Trinidad Chambliss, we may end up being like, hey, Trinidad Chambliss is the best quarterback in college football this year. Maybe not a pro, but who cares? This is college football. But, or is there going to be a drop? A lot of times there's a drop-off when you just, promote the assistant, right? Without a lot of or at the same time, was it Trinidad Chambliss and all those players? It's not really linked. Like there's a lot of hype around LSU, right? A lot of talk, all of that. And, are they really going to have this big season right out the gate? It's pretty hard to build a program. So I guess those two kind of interest me. And I don't know what to really read on them, and I'd want to watch a lot more before I make a statement. It's so much trickier now than it used to be. I mean, just there's so many transfer. You just don't know. I mean, put it this way: a year ago, if we were talking Ole Miss, the name we could have talked. You could have been the Ole Miss podcast, and you wouldn't have mentioned Trinidad Chambliss, right? You could just be nonstop Ole Miss, and no one's going to talk about them. So it's so hard to know who's coming in that's going to make a difference.
Dan, I guess a team that the team that we cover here, Texas A&M, we find them to be an interesting case because I think Coach Elko is building a fantastic program. But when you have to replace an offensive line and a defensive line and 2 coordinators, it causes a lot of pause from people, right? That being said, in this era of college football, it doesn't seem as difficult to figure that out. It's not a guarantee. But if you have big spenders and you have the ability to go get players, you can figure out both of those positions or position groups, I should say. So where are you on A&M?
Yeah, that the offensive line is the key, right? Lost 4 starters. How big of a role did that play for Marcel Reed? Or conversely, is his ability to run give it some time to get going? And obviously, you got Owens and stuff like that. Then defensive line can. Ricks and Hicks step up and do those things. I really like A&M's schedule. You got Arizona State early. Again, I don't know what to make of LSU. That game may not be, it's certainly going to be a big game, but it may not be as daunting. And you kind of have a nice run up to, now look, you got OU at OU and you got Texas at the end. I don't have to tell anyone here, but as schedules go, it's pretty good. And there's certainly one of these years where you're stepping in and saying, hey, we should get back to a playoff. That's our goal. In terms of what you're talking about, a program, I couldn't agree more. I think what Mike Elko's doing is amazing. And I'll give you an example, and I'm sure you guys talked about it, but I live up in Detroit. Like, we're getting a commitment to Donald Tabron. Like, that kid is a really, really good quarterback. And for A&M, I don't remember. I mean, they have lately, but until the last couple of years, I don't remember A&M coming up and taking a quarterback out of the middle of the Big Ten that Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame, everybody wanted. They have really good quarterbacks in Detroit. The city of Detroit produces more NFL players than any other city in the country, and they have great If you look at the quarterbacks around the country, Dante Moore is at Oregon, C.J. Carr is at Notre Dame, Bryce Underwood is at Michigan. Like they annually put out a really good quarterback, and he is on that line of guys that you sit there and go, okay, this kid fits that mold. For A&M to come up here, not just beat Oregon, I think LSU was in on him, but to take him when an Ohio State and a Michigan and a Notre Dame are all sitting there saying, hey, right here, that to me tells you it's not just money because the other schools got plenty of money, right? It's he's seeing something with Elko and at A&M that to me is really, really impressive.
Talking to Dan Wetzel here on TexAgs Live. All right, so we go from one quarterback to the other quarterback, Marcel Reed. We spoke about him a moment ago, but what do you see from Marcel that you like? And obviously I know the questions are the turnovers at the end of the year, but just give me some thoughts on Marcel and his potential better season in 2026.
Yeah, is he the Marcel Reed of most of the season that we saw as they streaked to, what was it, 11-0? I think it got to 11-0, right?
Mm-hmm.
25 touchdowns, all those things, or he struggled in those last couple games, Miami and obviously against the Horns. So, was that is that a tell or is that not? I like Marcel Reed. I think he's his athleticism, his ability to run and throw, a gamer. What he did at Notre Dame, I think proves what kind of a player to me he is. That was a really good defense Notre Dame had. So whatever happened at the end of the year happened at the end of the year. But obviously, if he can avoid some of the turnovers and make that jump, which he normally does, guys coming back in the same system, and all that. I mean, you got a new offensive coordinator, but there should be a jump. If he continues to progress, I think he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the country. And if he does, then A&M should be back in the playoff.
Dan, what's your read on Notre Dame this year? They've got the talent, they've got the schedule, they got the coach. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean they're in great shape. The schedule too is really doable. They got SMU and they got Miami, but unless they last year they blew the two kind of their two games, and that's what kept them out. But if they can avoid doing that, they can almost walk into the playoff. And their Marcus Freeman has changed that program incredibly. Brian Kelly did a really good job. Before Brian Kelly, people would be like, hey, Notre Dame, it's over. They need to join a conference. They could never be good. It's just grainy old movies and nostalgia and stuff. Brian Kelly got them really good. And they'd go in and, get crushed by Alabama or something like that. They weren't going to win a national title. But in the 3 years since Marcus Freeman has been the head coach, he signed more 5-star, I think 4 more 5-stars if I get it, than Brian Kelly did in 12 years. Like he is between that and the money they've got up there, they're now getting that elite player that they can now go toe to toe with the big hitters. And you saw it 2 years ago. And so they've got everything there. And like I said, Marcus Freeman's grown as a coach. Like, sometimes you got to give time for these guys. Remember, he only had 10 guys on the field in a game against Ohio State on the deciding play. But a year later, they're in the national title game. So, and he's, I don't know, he might be the coolest guy in college football. Kind of like I want to be Marcus Freeman when I grow up. But there's a lot of potential there for the Irish. And I just think this schedule, things have got to go bad, really break bad for them not to at least be in the playoff. And once you're in that playoff, anything goes.
Dan, what are your questions on Texas?
Schedule and the usual, will they just, gag somewhere along the line? Every time we think they put it behind them, they're always going to win the offseason, right? There's certain schools, they're loaded. They're loaded with talent. Arch got a lot better. Like, Arch is very good. There's no question. And I give him a lot of credit. And I know the risk of hyping up the Texas quarterback on the TexAgs, but that kid got he look, he doesn't live a life of adversity. Okay, he's Arch Manning, but he got piled on early, and he just kept improving and got to be a good player. But there's like 5 games in there to lose. There's just it's a tough schedule, and are they built not only to they got Ohio State at Tennessee. That's never really easy. Red River, Ole Miss, at LSU, and then obviously at A&M. I mean, there's a lot of hurdles there, and you can only really lose 2 or something like that. Somebody out of Ohio State's got a really hard schedule too. One of those 2 teams is kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit early. I'm glad they're playing, but I can see why guys are running from that. So do they have enough of the consistency and mental toughness, which often they lack as a program, to handle that gauntlet, but also not stumble against Florida or at Missouri or something, one of these other games that aren't that bad that could happen, or even just play terribly. I think they stayed out of the playoffs in part because of like how they barely beat Mississippi State last year and things like that, as much as who they lost to. So is that program mentally tough enough to maximize their talent? If they are, they can absolutely win the national title. I mean, they're on paper, they're absolutely loaded, but there's a lot of seasons that the Longhorns are loaded.
Dan, last thing for you, Indiana next year, or this year, I should say. How do they build on what happened last year? Are they going to be still a top 5, top 10 team?
Well, I'm not going to say they aren't, because I'm not going against Signetti. All right, he says they will be, and he's the one that walked in after 50 years of misery and said Ohio State and Michigan suck at a basketball game, which is one of the greatest lines ever. It was just so funny to have the audacity to say that and then go out and prove it. I mean, at some point, it's hard to just keep winning every game. They went 16-0 last year. Schedule's tougher, some big games, breaking in a new quarterback, but I expect them to be certainly in the mix at the top end of that. One of the top 3 teams in the Big Ten. Whether they can, Ohio State, Oregon, and Indiana are all really, really good. It's hard to pick which one's gonna win that, but they'll certainly be in that mix. And the big thing is like they got some really good transfers. He's very good at finding dudes, but he also they got a kid out of Michigan State, Nick Marsh, excellent receiver. He's gonna be a huge star this year. With a competent quarterback, he's very, very good at putting together teams on the fly. I think it goes back to that. When you're coaching D2 football, I think you see it even high school coaches that can make it, like a Joey McGuire up at Texas Tech. Like you can't just sit there and be like, oh, give me another 5-star. You kind of got to find dudes. You got to develop guys, or you got to play different styles and things like that. They've got great coordinators in Indiana, so I don't expect the drop off to be much. I'm not going to say they're going to go 16-0, but if Signetti says it, I don't think any of us can dispute it.
That was great, Dan. I appreciate your time, man. We'll talk to you again here soon, all right?
Anytime. Enjoy the season.
Thank you so much. Dan Wetzel on the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. We'll hit a break, come back, and got some interviews to talk or to go through from the Huddle series on TexAgs.com. Right now, we all know that the Aggie Network is built on trust, it's built on relationships, it is built on people looking out for each other, and that's exactly how Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors approaches their financial planning. From their headquarters in College Station, they serve individuals, families, and business owners nationwide with independent fee-only fiduciary advice. So when you're preparing for retirement, growing your investments, building your business, or planning for the eventual sale of that business, Paragon's going to work alongside you every step of the journey. So they get no commissions, no sales products, just personalized financial planning and investment management designed around you and your goals. Learn more or schedule your complimentary consultation at paragon-adv.com. That is paragon-adv.com. Paragon Financial Advisors, Aggie-owned independent fee, only serving clients nationwide.
Everybody, David Nuno here from TexAgs, here with some of our new friends from Frog Slayer. We've got the CEO, Ross Morrell, and the VP of Revenue, Jacob Stone. Ross, I want to start off with you. Who is Frog Slayer? What do you all do?
Yeah, Frog Slayer is a custom software, AI and automation company. We're based here in College Station. We've got about 50 employees right here, almost all Aggies. We've been doing this since 2005, about 21 years. Really what we do is we partner with business owners of growing businesses. And our goal is to come in, help them actually realize the promise of technology in their company so they can create a company that is worth more than it is tomorrow, that is today, and run a better business.
Jacob, I do want to ask you what's different about Frog Slayer's approach when it comes to AI?
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't just do AI, we do AI right. And so what that means is we embed ourselves inside of our client's team, and we help them plan, build, and ship solutions that they can deploy to a production environment that anyone can use.
All right, Ross, I've got to ask you, why the name Frog Slayer?
Yeah, it's an old riff off Mark Twain quote. So he said, the hardest thing you got to do today is eat a frog. It's best to do it first thing in the morning. So that's kind of our ethos of doing hard things first. And it's also a nice tie into gigging.
Yeah, I love that. Jacob, let's close out. Where can we all find Frog Slayer?
Yes, you can find us online at frogslayer.com.
All right, thank you very much to both of you, Ross and Jacob. Check out Frog Slayer. All right, we are back here on TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. As a reminder, the final segment of the program is brought to you by Double Dave's. That is at 10:50. But right now, caller number 12, 979-693-1150. We're going to hook you up with your choice of a dozen pepperoni rolls or a large one-topping pizza from Double Dave's. They've been serving Aggieland since 1984 with your favorite pizza and, of course, those world-famous pepperoni rolls. Reliable in-house delivery, bringing piping hot goodness straight to your door. Just click on doubledaves.com. And your favorites are on their way. And as a reminder, they are not open on Mondays. We go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Censor, Kayla Gaither.
Nuno.
What up?
What up? Well, we were just talking in the break, and I brought up the Brooks Austin film review of Marcel.
I need to watch that.
I watched it last night, and if anybody hasn't watched it yet, I would recommend it because it's an interesting watch. Brooks Austin kind of went in depth on the film from Marcel from the Texas game, and it obviously was not the best offensive show out of the season, but he had some interesting thoughts. He mentioned that he wants to see Marcel Reed go into a more RPO style of play and also roll out more instead of becoming a pocket passer. And I just want to get your thoughts on what he had to say, just having Marcel be more of a running quarterback rather than forcing him to stay in the pocket.
I think we have all wanted to see him use his legs more. We said it last season. But I also understand a couple things. He might have been cautious because he was coached cautiously initially. Like, hey, you don't always have to use your legs, right? I don't know if that's what he was coached. I'm over here thinking out loud. Because as we talked about with Kellen Mond, how many years in a row did A&M go through multiple quarterbacks because of injuries? So maybe there was a cautious approach initially, and then sometimes that becomes part of who, like, you overthink it. Maybe I shouldn't run in this situation, right? When they went up tempo, when he ran, he was better, right? Especially at the end of games, like like the Miami game, they moved the ball, right? Against a really good defense when they had struggled moving the ball most of the game. So yes, I would absolutely. I don't think what Brooks is saying is anything that we haven't thought about.
Right.
But he's right. Like, let's use this guy in motion, use him and I think that's what Billy's been reporting. Like they have Holman Wiggins and the offense are going to try to tailor it a little bit more to what Marcel is really good at.
Yeah.
And I think that's what good coaches do. In fact, if you remember, I asked Coach Wiggins overall his philosophy on, like, how do you develop your coaching style? Is it based on the talent you have, or do you have a system that you think you can? And he's like, it's always about the talent that you have. You tailor it towards what they can do. That's what any coach worth his wits would do. And that's exactly what I think they're doing this year with Marcel.
Yeah.
Now, does it work out? We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Right. But I do think that that's the goal for sure.
Something interesting that I found too, there was a comment in the YouTube page that said, Marcel is really good at certain things, but lacks a deep ball and accuracy on the slant routes. I want to say, too, that we've seen plenty of deep balls from Marcel. There was one in the scrimmage this past weekend that there was a video of Isaiah Horton catching a really deep ball from Marcel. I want to say that, maybe he can be an RPO passer, maybe he can be a rushing quarterback, but he has the talent and skill level to throw those deep balls on slant routes and connect. So I think that's what people are kind of overlooking about Marcel is he has that dual threat ability. And I think we are going to have to see if that plays out. Look,
I would love for him to be as accurate as possible on every throw he does. But slant route accuracy, like that is an art.
Yeah.
Because the real estate that these players are going through and the amount of defenders in the way, it's one thing to go over the top towards the sideline, right? Like, to where the sideline is the only defender over your back shoulder. But, so yeah, of course I'd like to see it. As for the deep throws, it was definitely a bigger problem early in the season than it was. I certainly think he started developing that. And let's not forget, he had a deep one early on in his first start against Florida.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everything that we have talked about with Marcel, it's only going to come with viewing him this season. And I think everything that we've heard from Billy, everything that we've heard from camp is that Marcel is taking that next step by taking a step back. I remember last week we kind of talked about what ABR said, where Marcel is kind of stepping into his game by slowing it down. And I think that we're going to see that this season. I think one of my maybe predictions for the season is that we're going to see a more confident Marcel on the field. And I mean, I would love to see him go into a more running style of play and get out of the pocket more. But like Brooks was saying, he mentioned in his video that he didn't know what the backup quarterback situation was like and that there is that caution in case Marcel gets injured. So I agree with him. I think, we just have to see how it plays out on the field.
Yeah, but how many teams, and there are teams that have it, but how many teams have a proven commodity in today's college football as a backup quarterback?
Right. There's
right,
not many.
at SEC Big Ten level. How many? And there are some. They're either young quarterbacks that are developing, in the case, Brady Hart, absolutely, Helaman Kasuga. They're developing towards that, right? But they haven't been thrown to the fire just yet. So you got that situation, but you don't have a lot of guys that, if you're going to be a backup that could play SEC football, unless you love A&M, you're probably going to go start somewhere else.
Yeah, we saw that with Miles O'Neill as well. He was
starting at North Carolina now.
Exactly. He's projected to be a starter at North Carolina this season. And that's just one of the things that you have to go through being a backup quarterback. If you don't love being an
Yeah.
Aggie, if it's not your dream to be an Aggie, if you are good enough to start in the SEC, you're most likely going to go somewhere else and start. So,
All right, let's hit a break. We'll come back, listen to my interview with DJ Hicks. No, excuse me, not DJ Hicks, Ricky Gibson III. We're going to listen to my interview with Ricky Gibson III. We'll hear from him here in a moment. Right now, we're talking Caldwell Country Chevrolet. You can find them on Highway 21 in Caldwell and online at caldwellcountrychevrolet.com. You've got an older vehicle at home. I'm just hypothesizing, somebody listening does, that, it's time to upgrade. God, we got 200,000 miles on it. It's time to get something new. You go to Caldwell Country Chevrolet because they're always looking to add cars to their lot, and they love doing trade-ins. All right, you just want a new car. You want to buy your kid a car. You love your wife, okay? Your wife wants that truck. You buy her that truck. You go to Caldwell Country Chevrolet, where you're going to get the great customer service. You're going to get the great people. You're going to get the great pricing and the great trade-in value. That's why you go to Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Again, they're on Highway 21. We're talking about a 15-minute drive, the edge of Bryan to the beginnings of Caldwell. A short conversation away, but you'll see the difference when you step on the lot and do business with the good people at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell. Online, caldwellcountrychevrolet.com. I wish I had Olin here for it because he loves energy drinks. Catalyst Citrus Spark. This is one of the new flavors out there. Whether you're grinding through workouts, cramming for a test, or closing in on a deal, or getting ready for TexAgs Live, you never know, right? Fast becoming the go-to fuel for Aggies everywhere. Zero sugar. I'm all in for that. Or synthetic sweeteners, no artificial colors or flavors. Catalyst delivers clean, high-performance energy with smooth, crisp taste that is never syrupy, designed for both health and hustle. You want to get going? You use this Catalyst right here. It's about pure energy and pure results. And what sets them apart? Packed with premium nootropics blended to boost focus, clarity, and mental stamina. I need this. I'm in, guys. I'm in. Plus, with plant-based caffeine, vitamin B12, B6, Catalyst supports metabolism and energy production, making it more than a drink. It's your lifestyle training partner. Built for competitors on the field, Catalyst fuels strength, focus, and pure results. Buy now at drinkcatalyst.com. That is drinkcatalyst.com. Train harder, think sharper, pure results. It's Catalyst. We're back here on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner Jewelers, Wallow Insurance Studio. Nick, before we go to this interview, we're a Marty Smith team, right? Like we were like Marty.
Yeah,
Smith,
absolutely.
Right? He's part of the fam, right? And I like Ryan McGee a lot too. Just read on Barrett Media, who they cover media, obviously. Breaking: ESPN is shifting Marty and McGee to Saturday at noon on the SEC network this football season. John Mamola has all the details. I don't like that.
Why not? I mean, obviously it's during games.
Yeah, it's during games.
Yeah.
I like that show before games.
I like hearing Marty and McGee before I watch football all day on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this. I don't know why they would
Maybe it's going to become like a red zone type show, you know what I mean?
Maybe.
Where they're reacting to games live. Who knows? I don't know.
If Marty likes it, then I guess it's cool. I just, and they got a bigger role than just that show at the network.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot of stuff. And it'll be on TV too.
I would imagine that's like an on-campus show as well. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I just really enjoy their commentary in the morning before. It's typically right before game day, right? Or right before the SEC, what's the SEC Saturday morning show called?
SEC Nation.
Yeah, there we go. Yes. So anyway, let's listen to RG3, but our version of RG3. Spoke with Ricky Gibson III last week, and it was a good interview we did on the Huddle, and I think you're going to get a lot of insight. He's got a $1 million smile and an awesome attitude. I think you'll really enjoy this interview. Here's our conversation with Ricky Gibson III. Hey everybody, and welcome into the Huddle, brought to you by TexAgs and United. Our guest is Ricky Gibson III. What's up, Ricky?
What's up?
So, you got a reputation. I was told, man, you're going to really like talking to Ricky. You got an infectious smile. Are you a happy person by nature?
Oh, yeah, my granddad was always like that, I would say. So every time I was around him, I'd never see or notice he'll have a bad day, so he'd tell me to smile.
So what is Ricky like when he has a bad day?
I try to be the same person. I will be lying and be like some days I'm not, but I always try to be the same person, be uplifting, smiling.
Yeah. I'm embarrassed not to know this answer, but like when you're covering somebody, are you happy or are you you get to an intense zone or both?
It gets to an intense zone. When I get that PBU pick, definitely for sure, I'll start
You talk
smiling.
a little bit?
It depends. If they start talking first or I do something, I might let them know.
Yeah.
Depending on what the play is.
So I know you've done a couple of these with TexAgs. Talk to me about the transition. How's it been? You've been here since what, January probably?
Mm-hmm. Oh, the transition has been smooth. It's been family oriented. I'll say that. Coach, make sure I'm always straight. Coach Elko, make sure I'm always straight. Coach Moffitt, all them people. I'll just say very family oriented. I feel it.
What is something that stands out about Texas A&M to you? Like now that you've been a part of the culture, now you've been in the building. What is something that's maybe unique to the way they run their program?
Just the serious approach they bring to it every day. I would say you got to bring your A game every day. That's what I noticed, and they require you to bring your A game every day. They don't look for nothing else. They don't look under the standard. They want you to meet the standard or even go above the standard every day. So I'll say that's the biggest difference.
And I got to assume, meeting the standard, sure, it's about production, but it's about like a mental aspect, right? Bringing like that professionalism, like you're gonna give it your all.
Yeah, even like you say, even when you have a bad day, they still want you to give you your all because, I mean, it's just one bad play, so there's many more plays to go. So they just harping on me, always keep going, keep going, keep going.
So how long did it take for you to know A&M was going to be your place?
I'll say after the portal, I really didn't know where I was going to go. I'll say that. Got to looking at defenses, and Texas A&M defense really stood out to me. And I already told my mom, I was like, Mom, Texas A&M called me. I'm already knowing where I feel like I'm going to be fitting in at. So, yeah, I'll say that.
Talk to me about your mom. I've heard you mention her a couple times. Seems like you guys, and you mentioned your grandfather as well. Close family?
Mm-hmm. Close family, mom, dad, everybody be on me. We come from a football family. My uncle played, so my mom already knows the game. My dad knows the game. So just hearing what they got to say is always special to me.
So Ricky Gibson the first was your grandpa, right?
Yes, sir.
Your dad's Ricky Gibson the second?
Junior, yep.
You're the third.
Mm-hmm.
You going to have a fourth one day? Or you going to start a new name?
People ask me this all the time, and I'm just like, nah, I'm probably going to end it.
Yeah, you're going to end it.
I might end
it. So one of the things about this defense last year, they were really good about, breaking up passes, and it was hard to throw on A&M's defense, but not a lot of interceptions, at least from the secondary, right? I think only one last year. How much of an emphasis is that for this team this year?
It was a very good emphasis, very big emphasis. I'll say our defensive line is crazy. So I feel like there's no reason we shouldn't get no picks because the ball's gonna be coming out faster because our D line's so good. So, coach been harping like we need to turn over the ball anyway. Punches, picks, any way we can get the ball, tips. Don't matter, just get the ball.
How does the talent at this Texas A&M team compare to that Tennessee team that went to the playoffs a couple years ago?
I'll say comparing wise, just together, just how the team bonds. I felt like the same way Tennessee did that 24 year. I felt like we kind of had the same similar bond, same similar practices. We're pushing each other. The competition is good. So I feel like just the bonding and the competition energy. Yeah.
Is the talent like pretty similar to that? Because that team was good.
Yeah, that team was really good. Yeah, that team was really good. I'll say it's comparable.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, so talk to me about the defensive backs you work with, and we can talk safeties, we can talk about the cornerbacks. I mean, you got to. When Coach Elko talks about the amount of talent, like it's crazy because you guys are legit 2 to 3 deep.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Just not to leave anybody out. I don't want to really get into names, but everybody in the secondary, it's just like you said, we're deep. Like everybody knows what they're doing, got some experience. So it shouldn't be no reason why we shouldn't be one of the best secondaries going into the season and finishing the season. So yeah, I feel like we're really close.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what they're doing. They're athletic. Everybody gets it. So yeah.
It strikes me as my phone goes off. It strikes me that this team, at least especially from the secondary standpoint, that you guys are feeding off each other as opposed to like, man, why is that guy getting more? Like it almost is like it's making you be the best. You talk about that standard. I feel like because there's so many guys, you guys are so deep that you have to be at your best, and you kind of enjoy that competition.
Like I said, it's healthy competition. Like you got a lot of games this season, and like last year, I got hurt, so like. Just seeing how my freshman or how Ty Redmond stepped in last year made a big emphasis that you need everybody. You're going to need everybody because you just never know.
Okay. And then let's go back to that day you get hurt early in that first game, right?
Yes, sir.
What do you like? Do you know instantly? Like, does it take some what kind of take me through the emotions of, oh my goodness? Because that secondary was supposed to be crazy last year.
It was really deep emotion, especially first we're going out with Jermai. That was a big hit to us. Second, with me, when I tore my pec the first game, I didn't really know that I was going to be out for the season. I thought it was going to be, a couple months rehab. Might be a little bit more games, but as soon as I did it, I kind of felt it kind of burn. I thought it was like a stinger, but nah, they was like, you're going to have surgery end of December. So now I'm trying to switch my mindset to playoff times, and we didn't really get to the playoffs. So it was just a lot. It was a lot to take in.
So I know you said you're healthy, but how healthy are you right now?
I'm fully healthy.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you're ready to go. Texas A&M, I think it was about a week ago, tweeted out a video of you getting that pick. Have you had a couple of those?
I had a couple. I'll say I had a couple. That was it was a good play. I'll say that. It was a very good play.
Talk to me about the wide receivers you have to go up against here at Texas A&M. We know they're talented. What do you see from your perspective?
They're really good. I'll say that for sure. They bring it every play. Either Isaiah, Ashton, Terry, they're really deep. Even the freshmen are really good too. How they attack the ball, how they run their routes. Coach Wiggs do a good job, and all of them do a really good job. I'll say that.
So this is kind of stupid. Excuse me for saying that. Has anybody called you RG3 before?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they have. Yeah. I covered RG3 when he was in high school, and then obviously in college. Talk to me a little bit about you. What are you into? What does Ricky Gibson like to do?
I just like to play the video games. I'm real simple. I'm real chill. I don't really like to go out the house as much.
Okay.
If I'm not really watching football, I'm either playing the game, listening to music, or talking to family.
What kind of video games? Sports games?
2K, anything. I play it all.
You guys talk trash to each other too?
Yes, got to. The only way to play. Got to.
What kind of music do you go listen to?
It can be anything. Rap, R&B. Like, it really don't matter. It just depends what kind of mood I'm in.
Okay. What are some movies that you're into?
Movies. I like Ride Along by Kevin Hart. Anything Kevin Hart.
Ride Along was good, yeah.
Yeah, anything Kevin Hart related, I can watch.
All right. Did you see the new one on Netflix where what's his name? Marcelo Hernandez?
Oh, no, I wanted to get into that.
That was pretty funny.
It was really?
Yeah, it's good. So the thing about Kevin Hart movies, they're not that good, but they're good, if that makes any sense. They're kind of cheesy, but
they'll give you a little laugh. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of NFL player are you? Like, if you were to compare your game to another, it could be a college game, but like for those who haven't watched you, who do you compare to?
I say everybody's a different corner. I really don't try to compare. I do definitely look at, Pat Surtain, JC, but I just feel like I'm my own person. I just feel like everybody got different body types. Everybody see the game differently. I'll say that, but I'll obviously try to take stuff from them. But if y'all would say that, I'll probably say like more of a JC Horn type person.
Okay. And is the goal the NFL? Is that what you're doing?
Yes, sir, for sure.
Yeah.
Try to be the first corner off the board.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
And is that part of the reason you picked A&M too?
Oh, yes, sir. Development-wise, I wanted to get pushed. I know my next school, I wanted to get pushed. I know I wanted to get really developed. And their defense that they're running is just more like on the NFL side. So, like, yeah.
And do you feel like Coach Moffitt has made an effect with you too?
Yeah, I love Coach Moffitt.
Everybody laughs. You laugh
because he's just crazy, but he gets the most out of you. I'll say that.
Yeah.
He pushes you.
What are you studying in school?
I actually graduated. I didn't get my Aggie ring. Sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry, I graduated.
You still an
Tennessee.
Aggie? We got you.
But I graduated with information science.
Okay. And one day you're done with football. You play 14 years in the NFL. What would you like to do with information science?
See, the thing about it, I really don't know. I just know it was big on computers. I know AI is evolving and stuff like that. And it was more of a coding, which it was cool. I don't know. If I wanted to do anything, it would probably be real estate.
Real estate? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I got to ask you about AI because you brought it up, right? How often do you use it? And do you talk to it like it's your friend?
Nah. I don't really use it that often.
Okay.
Unless I really need to look up a word or
Okay.
look up something or I don't know. I really don't use it that much. But
Just circle of trust, just me and you talking, right?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes I say, please, thank you. Like, I have a really respectful, because you never know if the computers take over. I want them to remember that I was a nice guy.
He told me they take over.
So do you look at the schedule and you're like, ooh, do you look at it that way, or do you kind of just 1 week at a time?
Just 1 week at a time. I know we got some good receivers that we're going to play this year, so it just really gave me a chance to kind of showcase my talent. So just take it one game at a time.
Does the Tennessee game mean a little bit more?
Obviously, I mean, yeah, of course it means more.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my old school. I mean, it's never no bad blood because I love them guys.
Yeah, they love you too.
Yeah, I love them guys to death. But I mean, it's my old school, so yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think it was Coach Heupel and a couple other players were talking about you at SEC
Yeah.
Media Days. They spoke very highly of you.
Yeah, I like to win, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, okay, what about the other team in orange? That's got to be on your list, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, come from Alabama and not knowing much about, the rivalry, especially just getting here, but seeing them always talk about how they don't like the other team down there, so yeah.
You see them on Twitter? They talk a lot.
Yeah, I do see them on Twitter. They're very posty, I'll say that.
Yeah. Ricky, I've enjoyed this, man. Thanks so much for your time.
No problem.
Ricky Gibson III here on The Huddle on TexAgs. All right, that was a fun interview. Appreciate Ricky's time, and we'll be hearing a lot more of him. And that battle with Julio Humphrey, I think, is going to be a good one because both those guys are going to play quite a bit this year. We'll hit a break, come back with a short segment before the 10 o'clock hour, and Billy Liucci joins us. I'm sure Gaither, who's always prepared, has got something good for us. Right now, we're talking about Milliken Reserve. They are a farm-to-table community in College Station. They got homes, they got trails, they got farms, they got wide open spaces. Their mission is to build a healthy community around nature. They're committed to treading lightly on the land that you can find Milliken Reserve on. They created a sanctuary for family, for nature, and community. 2,600 acres of open space. They've got 30 miles of trails. They've got awesome farms and the beautiful homes. And let's talk about those homes. You got the creek, homes on 10-plus acre wooded estates. You got the hollow and a private and gated community, and the meadows that are responsive to their natural surrounding. They are rooted in Texas soil, and if it sounds like a place for you, check out the website. Learn more about it. MillikenReserve.com. That is MillikenReserve.com.
Howdy, Ags. This is Texas A&M quarterback Marcel Reed, and you're listening to TexAgs Live on the Zone, 11:50 a.m. and 93.7 FM.
All right, appreciate Marcel Reed saying that. Let's go right now and find out what's popping on TexAgs today. We go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Kayla Gaither has got it all. Kayla?
So before I get into what is on TexAgs today, I just want to reiterate that it is never a better time to be a TexAgs premium subscriber because there's so much content coming out on the site. Before football kicks off, before fall sports really gets rolling, become a TexAgs premium subscriber. For what's on TexAgs today, we have the Tour of a Lifetime article by OB. He mentioned earlier in the show that you should give it a read. I'm saying too, go give it a read. It is
really good.
It's such a great read. It really is. We also have an article on Von Miller signing with the Cowboys yesterday. We have a Ryan Broniger article covering Donald Tabron's commitment that came out this weekend, a Texas Aggies United interview with DJ Hicks, and a volleyball preview article that launched on the site this morning. And then later today, Lunch with Liucci, the segment that we are just about to do, is going to be on the site later today. We have a Luchador sponsored by Poncho coming out, 25 and 25. We mentioned it earlier, it was ABR.
Mm-hmm.
That's sponsored by Paragon. And then a Mylan Briggs recruiting Q&A will be on the site as well.
I found it very interesting. A couple things from earlier when we talked to Dan Wetzel. I probably should have talked about this immediately because I had a couple things fresh. He was so high on Donald Tabron.
Yeah.
He was so high on him.
Definitely. Yeah. That commit came out this weekend, but it's another Detroit, Michigan, outside of the state of Texas commit that several people on Twitter, on Instagram, all over the news have said that this commit is huge for Texas A&M. And
he's a composite. Sorry, Kayla. He's a composite number 3 QB in the class of 2028.
Yes, and he's also the highest rated quarterback that Elko has landed as a commit. So very interesting.
And I didn't realize how many NFL quarterbacks came from the inner Detroit area.
Oh yeah, so many. And I mean, he was on Michigan's watch list. He was on Ohio State's watch list. So it's truly a huge get for the 2028 class.
Yeah. So and the other thing that caught my attention, he made it sound like A&M's schedule was not. I don't know if he said favorable, but he thought it laid out well. I'm like,
it was very interesting. I saw your face when he said that, and it's a little,
like, and maybe, but if how many of those teams are top 10 teams?
I mean.
We'll find out for sure today.
Yeah, we'll find out a little bit. Like Texas is expected to be there.
Yeah.
I would say top 15 teams. I'm sure Alabama will be top 15. Oklahoma will be top 15. LSU will be top 15.
Yeah. I think definitely, LSU, Alabama, Oklahoma, Texas.
Yeah.
I'm going to go those 4 are going to be in the top 15.
So a third.
Yeah, a third of them.
I think at least half of them will be ranked. I see 6 ranked teams on that schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee, Arizona State's the other one? Who's the other one?
Arizona State, LSU, Missouri, Alabama, Oklahoma, Texas, probably Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, Tennessee will be.
Yeah, for sure.
If Arizona State's ranked.
Yeah, Tennessee will definitely.
Do we remember what Arizona State was ranked in? Were they ranked in the coaches poll? I don't even know.
Let me pull it up. Hold on.
I mean, we're over here assuming based on what the last couple of years are, but
right.
They were not.
I was going to say because they may be really good. Don't read into that. They shouldn't beat A&M, but they may be really good because their whole team has turned over. Like they were, I think they were in the top 3 or top 5 in transfer portal entries.
Yeah, they were kind of like LSU. LSU has a whole new team, and Arizona State has a whole new team as well. Sam Levitt obviously coming to LSU from Arizona State, but a lot of turnover for both programs there.
All right, let's hit a break. When we come back on TexAgs Live, you've got a story about teams that were in the top 25 a year ago that didn't finish in the top 25.
Yeah, in the spirit of the AP poll coming out today, why not?
We'll get into it, and Billy Liucci will be with us. You're listening to the world-famous TexAgs Live. We're back. TexAgs Live. Nick is like, hey, we've been back for 2 minutes. I was like, no, we haven't.
Yes, we have.
A minute 41 when I walked in. I didn't, so, I just was having a conversation in the lobby. I didn't realize that we were back. There was a time, Nick, we got to have a conversation with Louie. There was a time we had like these 4-minute breaks, and now we're back to 2-minute breaks. So I'm like, my timing's off. He's doing it good for us so we can have more content. But like my timing, I have a routine.
Mm-hmm. We know you and your routines.
Yeah, I'm a routine guy, right? Like it makes life easy. Go get my coffee, fill it up.
We have like 50 interns here, right?
I don't like to send people to get my coffee, bro.
David, you've sent me to get coffee one time, and the one time I got it, you said, was this coffee has it been sitting here for a while?
Did I say that really?
Yeah. And I was like, I'm never getting coffee for you ever again.
I like to just do it, like I'm not like Billy who has like the exact cream. I just go black.
Yeah.
And I just blame. Anyway, I used to have timing down. So I'd go upstairs, boom, get my water. Hey, how are you? Oh, good to see you. TPS reports, okay. And I walk down, and I still had time.
Yeah.
Now, TPS reports, you're on. So, anyway, Gaither, you had a really good topic to get into.
Yeah. So in the spirit of the AP poll dropping at 11 o'clock today, I saw a tweet that had the preseason AP poll teams from 2025 that ended up unranked at the end of the season. So I figured we could go through some of these teams and just say, the AP poll, yes, preseason is coming out today, but it's not the end-all, be-all, as we all know. So going through these teams, starting at number 2, Penn State ended unranked and was ranked number 2 for the preseason AP poll in 2025. Number 4 was Clemson. Number 9 was LSU.
Hold on, let me go back.
Yeah, go ahead.
2 teams I was very wrong about.
Yeah.
I was not high on the quarterback situation at Penn State, but I don't think anybody in the country saw what happened, right?
Yeah.
Like, who was the other one you mentioned? I was wrong on Clemson.
LSU
I was so wrong on Clemson. I was like, good for Dabo. No to NIL. No to transfer portal.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it the old school way. And then
I think a lot of people were very wrong about Clemson. I think everybody had very high expectations for them. Being ranked number 4 in the preseason definitely said that. But so Penn State, Clemson, LSU. 11, Arizona State. Opponent we're going to face this year.
Yeah. Okay.
12, Illinois. 13, South Carolina. 15, Florida. 16,
There's
SMU.
a lot.
There's a lot. 17, Kansas State. 22, Iowa State. 24, Tennessee. And 25, Boise State. All of these teams ended up unranked at the end of the season.
And then I bet you if we go back to 24, A&M was, I think, 20th on that one.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they ended up losing at the end of the season as well. That being said, I was surprised how many teams that people were wrong about, which speaks to nobody knows jack.
Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make here.
Except this guy right here.
The poll is coming out, but we all know that the poll.
Well, let's play a game because I bet you Billy didn't have opinions on all those teams.
Right.
But do you remember being high on, nobody could have predicted what happened to Penn State or LSU to that level. But do you remember being high on LSU last year at this point?
No. I thought they were overrated. I said it repeatedly. I thought LSU was overrated last season. I thought Nussmeier was overrated last season. Now, he did get hurt, but I thought he was overrated the year prior. LSU is overrated most seasons since A&M's joined the SEC. I've said that. So that wasn't a hard one. I was wrong on Klubnik. I thought he was going to have a big year.
Yep.
I thought people went a little too all in with Sellers because I just didn't quite trust him as a passer. And the other guy and team that I was, the Drew Aller thing, he got hurt. I mean, people forget that. I don't know what game it was. It was very early in the season that Drew Aller got hurt. And, James Franklin got fired for it. That was a weird one because you saw what Penn State did during his time there. And they never could quite get over that hump. But they had, the year before he got fired, they were in the college football playoff semifinal. And correct me if I'm wrong, but they were in overtime against Notre Dame to play for a national title, correct? And the next season, he's fired. the next season he's fired because, I mean, yes, they got to a point where they realized or thought and just said, we believe that we can't get over the hump with him and he'll never get us there. But to do that early in that season when you lose your NFL-bound starting quarterback seemed extreme. But
I mean, the why behind it, yes, so Aller got hurt early October in the Northwestern game where they lost 22-21. But
that was, and losing to Northwestern probably did it.
Yeah, that, and then the week before they lost to UCLA.
Yeah.
And the week before that, Oregon.
Oregon's fine. What was that score?
Oregon was actually a close game, 30-24. Oregon went to Penn State and won. In OT, by
they
the way.
played Oregon and Indiana tough. But yeah, that was a whiteout game, and they beat, that was the deal. So they beat Penn State in OT, and it was like, Oregon we know is really good.
Yep.
Penn State's pretty damn good. And then bam came UCLA, bam came Northwest. Two of the worst teams probably in
the Big
college football last year. Honestly, UCLA fired their coach. Both of them changed coaches. And then you lose Aller, and that's it. So it's weird. I wouldn't have fired him the year after they went to the semifinals, and then you lose that QB. I would have almost given him a little deeper into the year at least to see if because the guy that came in interim got them playing a lot better, but it took him a few weeks. Like, you don't know if Franklin rights that ship and they finish 9-3, but that was their chance to get rid of him. I think they just wanted change, and coaches know when your place wants change and you give them a reason, you're out. And Northwestern, UCLA, obviously, reasons. I think James Franklin is the hire that people don't talk about near enough. Like, Virginia Tech, by the way, we need a new, if this is going to be on TV, see how my arm pops with that? When we wear a different color, people in the back should be like, dude, we need to change the background. There's too much blend, but that might be asking too much.
Why don't we get a uniform?
That might be asking too much. Uniforms?
Yeah.
Like a home and away?
Yeah. But we have to color coordinate for the show.
Yeah.
That way it's always who's on the desk. We are in white, that is maroon.
Yeah.
Reverse it.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea. Go uniform. I like it.
Because I like routine. So if we had, every Monday we had a shirt, Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds really good. It sounds like something I would be able to stick to and remember too. No, but I think Franklin's going to be a hell of a hire there at Virginia Tech. I think it's going to fit. He brought a lot of those Penn State guys. That's his area of the country that he can recruit. So I hear people go, well, he's great at a place like Vandy, but not Penn State. I'm like,
he was great at Penn State.
He was really good at Penn State.
Yeah.
Great for them meant to get back to championships. By the way, guys, y'all haven't done that since Joe Paterno back when he was still cool. But I thought he did a really nice job at Penn State. He did a lot better than the previous guys had done. And I think he brought them back to some level, not some level, but a significant level of respect. He did a great job at Vandy, but I think Vatek kind of falls in between those two, right? Like Vatek falls in between. So I think that's the perfect sweet spot for him at that place in that conference. He can quietly build something, and I think he can do it pretty quickly. Gets the right QB. Speaking of QB, did you see Miles O'Neill?
Yeah, North Carolina.
And was he named the starter, or is he inside track?
He's expected to be named the starter.
So, I mean, good luck with Bill Belichick. Everybody thought that Bobby Petrino was going to get that Arkansas job, and that was what he positioned himself to do with Pittman. Wouldn't it be ironic if it's not Arkansas that he gets
the North Carolina
but it's
job?
North Carolina, and that would fall right in line if they went Mac Brown, Bill Belichick, Bobby Petrino.
Yeah,
just the old
crew.
Retread, run it back again. But Miles O'Neill and Petrino. So that would be interesting. Add to the list of A&M quarterbacks scattered around the country.
One other thing on Franklin that I find interesting, you look at what Florida State has done with Mike Norvell, and they've been much more patient than Penn State was. You could say the same thing that A&M was pretty patient with Jimbo after the 5-7 year, right? Like there's a little bit of patience.
What was it?
One more year, and they went. Well, they fired him before, but the 7-5 season. So it just to me, it's exactly what you said. When the fan base and the donors are out, just like Brian Kelly, they were done that day.
Well, I mean, we know why Jimbo made it through the 5 and 7. We can act like we were patient around here, but it was because of the contract.
Sure.
They damn near wanted to make him through the 7 and 5 too, because of the contract.
So you think if they would have fired him after that 5 and 7 year, if the contract wasn't the contract? You think so?
Yeah, I think probably. I mean, I would have sat there and gone, man, look at what's happened to this guy's quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But I think they would have on that. That it was 5 and 7 with a loss to App State. It was about as bad as it can get that year. But they bringing him back could have paid, and then they went to Miami that year, and it just never felt good. It never felt good. It never felt there was nothing in that year to make you go, okay. They rallied from this. They recovered. So yeah, and that App State stuff was year 5. So it wouldn't have been like, hey, we didn't give this enough of a chance. I mean, you were in the 5th year there. So as far as, and by the way, you mentioned Norvell. You know where they still love Jimbo Fisher?
Florida State.
Tallahassee. I'm just saying, like,
could that happen, you think?
I wouldn't, I'm not going to say could, yeah. But I don't.
You're not predicting it.
Yeah, I'm not making a prediction there. I just think it'd be interesting if Norvell and that thing tanked. Have you looked at their schedule? No. Look up Florida State's schedule. Tell me how many games you think Norvell's going to last there, because that is nasty.
Let's see. They open up with New Mexico State.
Okay, should be all right.
Then they host SMU.
Okay, that's dicey. That's that Monday night game.
Okay, so I'm going to say 1-1.
Sunday night or Monday.
Just for kicks and giggles. Then they go to Alabama. I think they lose. Okay, 1-2.
Alabama's got a little revenge on the mind too.
Central Arkansas, 2-2. They host Virginia. They go to Louisville.
Okay, so listen. Let's say they split with Virginia and Louisville. I think Louisville will be pretty good. If they split those two, they're 3-3, and they're 0-3 in the games that Florida State people give a rat's ass about.
And then their hardest game is the week after, Miami.
Yeah,
at Miami.
So, and then they have a bye week, right?
Yeah, they do, and then they host Clemson.
Okay, and you host Clemson. So they could be, if they split with Virginia and Louisville, they could potentially be 3-5 and 0-5 in games that matter. I think that they could make a change after Miami and give an interim, who would be maybe Tom Herman, a bye week to get ready for a home game against Clemson, rather than bring a guy in that has just lost to SMU, Louisville, and Miami, and bring him out, trot him out there in front of the home folks for a big game against Clemson.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, as we're talking about what happened with James Franklin last year, that could be, I think Florida State, to be honest, they made a mistake not cutting the cord on Norvell and hiring James Franklin, who would have absolutely taken that job over Virginia Tech. You would think. I mean, on paper, coach would do that. So anyway, that's my thoughts.
That's interesting. I wanted to get into something you mentioned.
It's nice to not have that conversation surrounding Aggie football,
I know,
isn't
right?
it? It's always nice when you're in that spot.
I was listening to Ask Liucci this morning on my run, and there was something you talked about that I wanted to kind of go deeper. You went deep into A&M, but maybe we can just talk about deeper for everybody in the conference. But for A&M to make the playoffs, you were basically talking about splitting the Oklahoma-Texas games, right? I mean, there's other scenarios, but also LSU, Alabama, right?
Yeah.
But that same scenario, which makes it, just thinking about it out loud, going to Baton Rouge, going to Tuscaloosa, which you mentioned on the show, like that used to be like, there's no way you win those games on the road, right? You have to split there, and then you got to split your last 2 games of the year if everything else goes to plan.
But here's go ahead. But I'm gonna
but my point is that's if everything is perfect beyond that.
So that's everyone, right? Like, we're talking about splitting with 4 teams, 3 of those games on the road, and the home game out of that group is a team that will be preseason top 5. And you're talking about splitting with 4 teams that will be ranked probably in the top 12 in the preseason poll. Certainly top 15.
Yep.
but maybe a third of the top 12 and splitting with them, and 3 of them are on the road, and the home one is against the top 5 team. If you did that, then all you've got to do is go win at South Carolina, where you've lost 2 in a row and where they took you to the brink this past year at home. At Missouri, which is always a tough place to play against, arguably the best running back in the SEC, assuming he gets back and is healthy. At home against Tennessee, a team that is also likely to be, either just inside or just outside the top 15. Arizona State, who might be third
ranked.
best team in the Big 12. They might be ranked. And then you have Arkansas and Kentucky. That's if you split with those 4.
Right.
You have to go undefeated against that group I just said. It is a rough schedule and path. But then again, you can go do that to anyone. If you took Texas and said they lost by a field goal to Ohio State in game 1, and you're like, damn, people will be going, this could be a rematch of the national title game.
Right.
What a game we just saw. Texas almost knocked off number 1 Ohio State. Buckeyes, Julian Say and Jeremiah Smith, a miraculous connection there at the end, set up the game-winning field goal. Okay, Texas fans walk out of DKR feeling pretty good. Then you look at the schedule, and again, you hope a couple of SEC teams get in at 9-3. But I'm saying to get to 10-2, if you're Texas, you got to go OU in Norman, LSU in Baton Rouge, Tennessee in Knoxville.
On the road.
A&M at Kyle Field. I said OU in Norman, Dallas, at Baton Rouge, Knoxville, College Station. Then you get Ole Miss at home, not to mention Florida and Mississippi State with the guy everyone is excited about, Kamario Taylor, running at the very least, Mississippi State should be really tough offensively. You got to go through all of those games and drop only 1. And at Missouri, to throw that in for good measure. You got to go whatever that is and 1. I guess there's 2 cupcakes, and I didn't mention Arkansas. So that's 3 of those 4. So that's of the 8. You have to go 7-1 in those other 8.
If you drop the Ohio State.
On the road at A&M, Tennessee, LSU, at home against Ole Miss. Just those 4, you got to go 3-1 with no stub. Everyone, you can look at their schedule and do that too, except maybe Georgia. I think LSU doesn't have it quite as tough as like, say, A&M and Texas and OU do. But A&M, Texas, OU, Ole Miss, those 4 in particular of the contenders, it is brutal. Georgia, Tennessee, a little bit lighter compared to those.
Yeah.
But I just think the SEC is going to have a hard time getting more than 2 at 10-2 or better.
I agree with that. And I have Texas's first loss in Knoxville when I look at it, because I do think those fans do show up for those big games. I think they'll win the Ohio State game as of right now, based on nothing other than.
I've been saying that, and I think Texas should be really good. Again, I don't think they're going to be as good defensively as their fans and the hype people in the media seem to think. I think Muschamp's going to have some great games, getting super hyper aggressive, and then he's going to have some games where he gets exploited. And I do think there's something to be said for being a little bit, that game moves by really quickly and changes really quickly. So I think their defensive efforts are going to be, I don't know if they'll have any really bad ones, but I think they'll be inconsistent week to week in terms of how good they are defensively. I think Colin Simmons is a huge check box, and probably the safety, Jelani McDonald. It's not like I'm just not like blown away by the rest of what they have on defense there. I think they talk about it so much, people get convinced, but I'm going, well, where are those guys projected NFL wise? And again, that's just compared to recent seasons and what really gets you through at the highest level in the SEC. Offensively, I think the sky's the limit, but I think there's a long way to go between last year and the sky. And just adding Cam Coleman They still have to block. They still have to block it. And I know they think they feel a lot better. And I think I would too if I was in their shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But if they don't, then who knows? But I just don't think they're as good as people think. I think they're susceptible to lose games on that schedule because the gap isn't nearly as big. Against Ohio State at home, I kind of agree with you. I've been saying that all offseason, but I do think what we're doing, and I would ask you today, what kind of research have you done on Ohio State?
I know that they have one of the hardest schedules in the country as well.
Okay, but as a team, I'm not trying to put you on the spot because I haven't done a ton either.
haven't. I wouldn't say that it's. I just know that they've got a wide receiver room that's incredible. Their defense is always good, and I think their quarterback's good in Julian Sand. I think it's basically a rematch of last year on the road.
I think Ohio State, they lost a lot on defense. They're going to have about 5 portal starters on defense. But it's also a guy by the name of Matt Patricia running it.
Yeah.
They bring back their O-line, a lot of it, which I thought was a problem at times for them last year. So if that group gets better, like everyone's assuming OU's group will, they weren't nearly as bad as OU up front. It wasn't even close. But if they get better on the O-line, they've got running backs as well. It's not just Bo Jackson. Yeah. It's another running back that's turning heads in camp and might even look better than him. And then and those receivers, I think we're underestimating them a little bit. They are the preseason number 1. Yep. It's not going to be Texas. It's going to be Ohio State. So,
all right, we'll hit a break. We'll come back with 25 and 25. Let's talk a little bit about Guarantee Bank and Trust. They've been around since 1913, over 100 years of serving Texans, not from a corporate tower far, far away, but right here in College Station. That's Guarantee Bank and Trust. They're all over Texas, by the way. But they're in this market. Brandon Sears runs the show. He's an A&M alum. He leads the team, and he is an Aggie all the way through. As I mentioned, 3 great locations here in the Bryan College Station area, but you got them all over Texas. They want to treat you like a neighbor because you are their neighbors. With 33 locations, they have the reach of a big bank, but the feel and the vibe of a small local bank. Go see Brandon and the team there at Guarantee Bank and Trust. Visit the website, gnty.com. That is gnty.com. It is Guarantee Bank and Trust, a division of Glacier Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Everyone, David Nuno here for Allen Honda. Had a great conversation with them earlier today. John Allen's the owner. He's been here forever. And also their GM, Rusty Skinner, great guy. Wonderful conversation. They're super local. They're a family-owned dealership, not some massive auto group. And they treat their customers like family because they basically are family. They're Aggie alums. They love Aggie sports. And they've been serving the Brazos Valley with integrity, with passion, and commitment to excellence for over 50 years, which is very rare, by the way, for the independents because people trust them. And that's why they've been doing it for such a long time. Whether you're looking to buy, lease, or service your vehicle, you can count on them for transparent, no pressure experience that puts your needs first. And I can attest to it. Had a great conversation about my own situation with them. Their knowledgeable sales team will help you find the perfect Honda to fit your lifestyle, from fuel-efficient sedans to versatile SUVs. Leasing options are flexible and affordable, making it easy to drive the latest models with confidence. And when it comes to service, their certified technicians only use genuine Honda parts to keep your vehicle running at its best, whether it's routine maintenance for major repairs or whatever it may be. And we know that trust isn't given, it is earned, and that's why generations of local drivers right here in the Brazos Valley and Bryan College Station keep coming back to Allen Honda. As part of the community with Aggie spirit in their hearts, they are here to make everyone's visit wonderful. So visit their showroom or their service lane and find friendly, efficient, and memorable situations when you go to Allen Honda. Come see why so many College Station and Bryan drivers choose Allen Honda for their automotive needs, and remember, gig 'em. We're back here on TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. Time for 25 and 25, presented by Paragon Financial Advisors, an Aggie-owned independent fee-only fiduciary serving families and business owners.
Fee-only fiduciary.
Fee. Not OnlyFans.
That's what I thought you said, feet only.
Visit paragon-adv.com. All right, you say you don't know who number 10 on the list is.
I do not know.
All right, thanks for listening to the first hour.
I was at breakfast.
Appreciate
I'm sorry.
it. All right, here's my hint. This is a strict medical order where a patient must stay completely flat in bed without any physical exertion. That is your clue.
Bed rest.
There's another term for it, that bed rest is involved.
What number is the player?
Number 10. Some would say absolute bed rest.
I don't know.
Is it a good
It
hit?
probably is. I'm not.
My hits are amazing.
Do I need to go? I'm looking to see there. Do I need to go through? Okay, 10 player.
I mean, it's just absolute
has nothing
bed
to do
rest.
with Horton. It has nothing to do with Ashton Bethel Roman. It has nothing to do with Craver. Mario Craver. That's not.
He's not going to put anybody into absolute bed rest.
He's not at 10 either.
Yes. No.
It's not Marcel Reed. It's not Ruben Owens, Jamarian Morrow. None of these things sound like.
I think this might be my best hit ever.
This is pretty good.
DJ Hicks, Mark Naboo, Olin Wilkin Formby, TJ Searcy. I'm just thinking of Anto Saka.
As I like to say earlier, Antosaka.
Noah McHale, Ray Coney, Damian Sanford, Des Ricks, Julio Humphrey, Ricky
Absolute
Gibson,
bed rest.
Absolute bed rest.
Dalton Brooks, Marcus Ratcliffe. I feel like I've gone through the whole.
Are you whispering? Are you doing the whisper?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You can't see. No, let's just play through this for a second.
This is a live radio, so it's a long.
Absolute bed rest.
I feel like that guy in the clip where they're like they say fat her, and he's like fat her, fat her. His father, fat her. Damn it!
This is so good for me, at least. Finally,
It's not
I
good
get to ask
for-
a question that you don't know. All
right,
the acronym.
Absolute bed rest.
That's stupid. That's not even like all that did was
BR.
Fat her.
The entire chat, Kayla, everybody loved it.
Absolute, but you didn't even. You added absolute bed rest later. You started with bed rest.
Like bed rest. And
No,
then
you
said
guessed bed rest, and I said more like absolute bed
when you
rest.
read the definition, it had nothing to do with absolute. That's not. It was. I thought you guys acting like that was good.
That's fantastic.
All that did was make it impossible.
Look, I go, give me an acronym with ABR. It gave me a bunch. Available bit rate, average bit rate, area border router, Australian business register. But the best one was absolute bed rest. And I helped you.
That's dumb.
I said absolute. I could've
You're
just-
reading definitions like you're supposed
And then
to.
I said absolute.
I was thinking
bed
Des Ricks.
rest.
I was thinking Des Ricks, like you had another Z, and instead of two Z's, he's got three, and it's like he's asleep. Des.
It makes for better radio to make it difficult.
That'd be a good hit, though.
Yeah.
Des.
So anyway,
Desi Arnaz. I would say I love Lucy. That would. So if you're on,
I would have said you.
Yeah.
At
Well,
that point, 'cause that's what you're starting to look like.
Because my hair's growing.
Yeah.
Do you miss the buzz cut?
I don't know which hair.
I change it all
I
the
don't
time.
think you. I don't. Look, you can say you like to say I don't come. I don't think you typically come in here with bad hairdos. There was one time that the whole office was ridiculing.
Which one was that?
Behind your back. Now I'm letting you know about it. But
That's what
I
they
mean,
do.
look.
That's what they do.
Your kids were probably making fun of
Which
it. I'm
haircut was
sure.
that one? I don't remember.
And I'm not. By the way, I know I can't make fun of hair, but some days I can, but not today.
Which haircut was it?
I think you've.
Was it the buzz cut?
Yeah, it was like it wasn't the butt. It was like you went like straight core, like Fish Nuno.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they can pull up. a picture.
Elizabeth was like, "You look 200 years old. Stop that." So I stopped.
Well, I didn't mind the short buzz cut, but that one time you came in, it was very
short,
core-ish.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said core-ish.
Yeah, which is fine if you're in the Corps or in the military, but not hosting our show.
Not a try-hard.
Yeah. No, you weren't trying. It was just a bad cut,
Poser.
dude. It happens.
I did it myself.
I nicked my goatee with the wrong clippers the other day. I've got like a disappearing.
Well, we're 3 minutes late for a break, and we got
It's
a lot
on
to talk
you.
about. No.
Yeah, we got football to discuss.
So, should we do ABR at the start of the next segment, or when we finish it here? I'm going to
If
allow
we're 3
you.
minutes past the break, let's go do another segment.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, let's go to the next segment, and then we'll do an extra segment afterwards if we have to. But let's get on with this.
All right. Well, we're going to hit a break. When we come back, we will have more with Billy Liucci on ABR. Right now, you're looking for real peace of mind when it comes to your money. Check out Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors. They're an independent fiduciary serving clients all across Texas. No sales pitches, no commissions, just honest financial planning and investment management. And what sets them apart is the over 9 CFPs, the CFA and the CPA, all on staff. They take their credentials seriously, and they will work hard for you to build a future that you will feel really good about. Go to paragon-adv.com or give them a call, 979-693-3907, to schedule your free consultation today. Paragon Financial Advisors, integrity, expertise, and trust. Paragon Financial Advisors. And we're back.
Sounds like you've been getting mogged today.
I don't mind getting mogged. As long as I don't get mugged. Dad joke? 25 and 25, presented by Paragon Financial Advisors, an Aggie-owned, independent fee-only fiduciary serving families and business owners nationwide. Visit paragon-adv.com.
We're going to talk about Ashton Bethel Rome. I'm going to tell you first, I had a buddy of mine come in that I grew up with, moving his daughter in this weekend, and so their whole family was there. It was 4 kids, him and his wife, and we all go to eat dinner, and there was some, we were enjoying margarita, and then I guess his dad joke, because he is a dad, which I should be at my age, as everyone likes to point out, but he is a dad, and we're going dad jokes here, and he's always been one of these, and he's like to the waiter, can you get me another one? It seems like there's a leak in my margarita here, and then he got another one. Man, I'm telling you, this leak's bad. I might need a whole, I think you gave me the same cup. Well, Hunter comes to join us, and he does it with the margarita. My friend does. Of course, Hunter thinks it's just this amazing joke. So then the waiter comes and asks Hunter what he wants, and he gets like an unsweet tea or whatever. He's like, but hey, can you get my man another drink here? He's got a hole in his straw, and he's just ruining the joke. It was classic.
Dad joke on top of dad joke.
It was like double, and I was going, oh man, here we go. And the kids, of course, we were all, and his wife and the kids, and we're just like, oh, now he's got backup. So it was like double dad joke on this poor waiter.
Here's another one, Ashton Bethel Roman, or absolute bed rest.
Bad dad joke.
It's great. Olin and I talked a little bit about it. If he does what he did at the end of last season, if that's all he does, that offense is going to be ridiculous. If he takes a step from what he did at the end of last season, you're not going to be able to double team certain people. You're just not going to be able to, because Ashton Bethel Roman is your number 3 receiver, and I don't mean that from a hierarchy standpoint, but when you look at it,
here's what I'll say. Texas out-physicaled A&M is why they won that game. Miami out-physicaled A&M. That's why they won that game. The A&M defense held up great through, almost that whole game. Eventually, though, the way Fletcher was running behind that O-line, they finally cracked the dam. But, I mean, not that the Aggie defense got pushed around. They didn't. But the Miami defensive front out-physicaled them. But with that said, I thought certain things happened late in that year that really hurt the Aggies in the last couple games. The receiving core was banged up. Craver, Concepcion, and ABR. Concepcion got hurt against Texas, and then he took that blow on that punt return against Miami. I didn't even think he'd come back in the game, much less to make a big play late that almost gave them a chance to tie it or win it. That and that win game against Miami, those two things took away how dynamic that receiving core truly had been all year. And Ashton Bethel Roman was a big part of that, because that injury in his best game, South Carolina, that they don't think about winning that game without him. The amazing, incredible touchdown catch with the dive. Here it is right here. I mean, that's a sensational diving catch, or that wasn't it. A sensational diving catch against South Carolina to bring them back in it. And then the catch and run on an in-break and route where I don't even know if it was intended for him, and he snags it and goes 75 yards. But when he got hurt on that play, that injury affected him the rest of the season. And for a guy whose game is so much speed and quickness, and there's the catch, I believe, against South Carolina. That's a sensation. To hang on to that on that fall is and remember, he was running full speed to run under that. Man, South Carolina game, the Arkansas game, real defensive struggle against Missouri. He got him on the board first with that catch. This sensational 50-ish yard catch and run against LSU. The one-hander was we're talking about Cam Coleman's one-handed grab. Ashton Bethel Roman did it in a game in Death Valley for 50 yards. I know he didn't jump as high as Cam, but he reached back, running the other way, snagged it with one hand without the help of a second, and took it 50 through the LSU defense. this dude had some moments. I thought he was really playing better. You know, once he hit his stride after Arkansas, there you go with that. He took off.
Yeah.
And he can make plays like that, like those big ones I talked about, LSU, South Carolina, consistently this year. He absolutely is capable of doing that. You're going to talk about Craver, and rightfully so. I think Craver is one of the best receivers in the SEC, if not the country. If he is who I think he is this year, and I think Isaiah Horton's going to get a ton of conversation because he's that big physical guy that this group needed, and he's coming from Bama, where he was like third in the SEC in touchdowns last year. So I get all of it. But Ashton Bethel-Roman is a freaking, like, he's going to make, in my opinion, he might make more highlight reel catches than anyone on the team. And I think what you can see more of from ABR this year is what you saw on that catch against South Carolina, which is that stretch of defense over the top, like truly get behind them and over their heads and threaten. And if he does that, then imagine what that does for guys like Craver and Bussey and Horton underneath. And I'm not saying those guys can't play vertical, particularly Horton and Craver, but I think Ashton will be one of the more dangerous deep threats in college football this year. We talk about all the things that you have to replace in KC Concepcion, and it's a lot. I mean, I think he's the best one-year receiver, like single seasons by a receiver that I've seen at A&M. It's like Robert Ferguson, Mike Evans twice. Really, Robert Ferguson, probably Mike Evans the second year.
Yeah.
Even more so than the first. The second year of Mike Evans was the best I've ever seen. Then Ferguson and probably KC Concepcion. Christian Kirk and Josh Reynolds each had, but KC I would put third. Swope had some, Murphy had some. I would go in order. Mike Evans, 2013. I'd probably go KC over Ferguson, just because of the team success and what he did for they both kind of did something for a passing game that had been needing it desperately. I'd go number 2. So there's a lot to replace, but one of the things that specifically is not only how many deep balls Craver caught, but how many, early in the year, Marcel was not, the timing wasn't there. He was overthrowing him a lot. It's how many times he got behind the defense for would-be touchdowns. And I think that's Ashton Bethel-Roman this year. I think he's going to play that role in defenses as they realize that they're going to have to practice every week and focus on. You cannot let, he's now number 8, right? I keep losing track of all the number changes by everybody. You can't let 8 get behind. You have to give him over-the-top safety help. You have to respect his vertical speed and ability to track and catch the football down the field, because he's really exceptional at that. So I think ABR, he's got a knack for the big catch and the big play, and I think he's so sudden and fast at stacking and getting on top of a cornerback.
Billy, for lunch, let's say I'm going to go to Fertella. All right,
I went last night.
Did you? Okay. They have lunch specials from 11 to 3.
Got a text saying that was a horrible hint.
I got a text that said it was a great hint. So you say you get one, I get the other one. Thank you. All right.
You're going to Fertella?
No, I'm saying if I went to Fertella today for lunch, they have lunch specials from 11 to 3. You order my meal. Go.
I always tell you the same thing, so I want to add some.
Yeah, well, we have spots.
Get yourself an appetizer. Get yourself a pepperoni roll.
I like pepperoni rolls.
It's like pepperoni bread almost. It's like a dinner roll, like that, Or you might even maybe do a special request. Ask for a chicken parm one.
I love chicken parm.
Cut up a chicken parm, a little cheese in there and some sauce. You do that. I'd get. How
about the lasagna?
By the way, they've got some great soups there. Go lasagna, or you could go with the lasagna cannelloni combo.
Okay.
That's really good.
Oh, you mentioned soups.
It's like
I'm
a beef
big
cannelloni, beef with a little spinach and I think it's ricotta cheese in there, and then a piece of lasagna as well.
Big soup guy. Which one do you recommend? All of them.
I like the minestrone. There's a lot of vegetables in it.
Yeah.
It's like a hearty amount of vegetables, like big carrots, big chunks of celery. I might go there. I don't know, you might get an occasional pea in there. I'm not sure. Not pea in the soup, like peas.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
trust me, I know.
Go with that.
Yeah.
I would do. I would do the. You got lasagna on the mind? Go with
I
the
do.
lasagna.
I'm a big lasagna guy.
Amazing. Get lasagna, but add yourself a meatball. Don't forget to do that.
Fratello Italian Cafe on South Texas Avenue in Bryan. More than a meal, it's a tradition. All right. Looks like we're going to have to go long. So if you are not a premium subscriber to TexAgs, sorry, you're going to miss out on Billy talking about all the intel he's got, because we're going to go here a little bit longer on TexAgs, about 4.5 minutes. Or 8 minutes, whatever Billy wants to do. And all right, so we've got a couple weeks into camp.
Yeah.
They've had some scrimmages. They've had several practices. What are some maybe takeaways at this point that you're walking away with?
Well, they've had a scrimmage. That was Saturday. I would say scrimmage-wise, fairly, in a good way, uneventful.
Mm-hmm.
I think they came out of that healthy. I think that's everybody's fear this time of year. But on Kyle Field, as far as you've seen a couple of the highlights that I would have definitely talked about, there's a beautiful deep throw from Marcel to Isaiah Horton.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird, these Texas fans.
I saw that.
Like it was like clipped together. And they're believing it. These dumbasses are believing it.
Okay, they can believe it.
It's crazy to me that it's really actually insane. If I was A&M and you really wanted to troll, you could just show the
the real play,
the other video
yeah.
of the play, just for fun, like not even reference them and just show it. But beautiful deep throw, like, I mean, 50 plus yards in the air, perfect throw, hits Horton in stride. He's got a DB all over him, comes down with the catch. Just again showing you, like I think Isaiah Horton is like a guy who in the last week or so has really, not elevated because he's been doing it, but just really starting to stand out to me. There was also a touchdown catch and run by Jamarian Morrow on a wheel route, again from Reed. So those were a couple of them. But, I mean, just in general, a couple weeks in, I think Ray Coney's been one of my favorite guys to watch. And I think if I'm doing stock up for any guys, it's Ray Coney would be near the top of that list. I think he's been really good for the first couple weeks. I think Noah McHale, like the linebacker position, and then you know that Damian Sanford's going to be all the way back soon, like all the way back.
Right.
I think he is. I think they're just, easing him along as much as, they're just doing. They know exactly what they're doing to get him ready to go to start the season. But feel a lot better about linebacker than I did going in, and then I didn't think I'd be nearly as impressed this early with Tamarian Watkins moving, kind of spinning down into that role. But he's looked as a true freshman. Two true freshmen that jump out to me that I was expecting, because I wrote about him a little bit in the offseason because he was turning heads. I think I was first by about 8 years to say that this guy was looking really good in the offseason was Chance Collins.
Yep.
But Collins and Watkins, to me, are like lesser recruited guys in terms of their stars and their ranking, that fans weren't doing like necessarily backflips when you beat out South Carolina and Tech for guys. But like I pointed out to somebody yesterday, we're talking about, I go, last I checked, like Texas Tech and South Carolina are spitting defensive dudes out into the NFL pretty regularly, and some of them very high level. But they took a guy in Watkins and Collins that I think are way ahead of what people would have thought they were, and probably even A&M staff, to be honest, because they are true freshmen still. But those are guys that are turning heads, and you're going, I wonder if they somehow factor in on the O-line. It's the portal 4, right? Mm-hmm. But then you start to go, well, where else is it coming from? And I've always mentioned there's 4 guys I typically feel like I mentioned, but to me, like Blake Ivy and Tyler Thomas stand out just in that guard battle. I think Ivy's ready. And then Tyler Thomas is so damn talented physically. And I think they're both factoring in heavily into the mix, 2 weeks in. So those are some, Stan. I mean, Marco Jones is just, I think another thing that jumps out, and I was talking to somebody about it yesterday, and it's like, it's okay. I promise. And the building's not going down.
Okay.
I saw that.
But I've seen you do this